team-wide damage we've seen has been an absolutely distressing turn of a team that someone else has to deal with in terms of disengagement or putting forth resources.
And you mentioned turn, like now it's a big change up because we've seen RAD sort of go for the 2-2-2. Now the triple strategist with the Ultron. Crazy Kitty is very good at it, and VIRTUS.PRO lamented for maybe being slow to the meta, going for the 2-2-2 themselves.
All right, potentially early mugging here. Charged up Stellar Shift, moving through, but straight into this Yancey Street charge. Doesn't mean that it's not quite as much of an explosive demarcation of the portal as they were hoping for. Vertigo's down already, should be able to resurrect themselves, but seems to be opting out of it.
Sorry,
given the casualties that RAD have already
close prediction. Sorry, I was messaging.
Is there going to be much changes? Yeah,
Vest
you've got
on
Ducky going
Twitter.
over towards the Emma. If you're going to make changes now, it's good because you're not losing much on the ult charge. But that first fight not going well, and VIRTUS.PRO poised up on the high ground and already trying to close that distance, making it hard for RAD to get into position.
Sorry, I was telling Vest that he has very supportive parents, chat. We love supportive parents.
Attribute this character to Sparker, not only on this team, but also across many metas of Marvel Rivals as well. You can see that VIRTUS.PRO had to give up a huge amount of space, but they Devastator can move in towards the back. They want the Ultron so badly. Instead, we'll just have to stuff a little bit of poke onto the overextended Adam, who gets finished off by Saipe with the kinetic cards.
He's got the life cocoon now, so he can come back into this fight if he feels that it's going to be good for his
I remember
team.
when my dad didn't want me to play games.
Potentially following in.
He would take away my keyboard and mouse.
Close to having that Royal Flush. It's available on both sides, and Mash is going to likely use it first as he gets set up.
Raging Royal Flush, bringing everybody forward. You can see the pressure on the point has already started to build on up, but Saipe's rescued everybody here. Needs to move towards the back to make sure that ult does not go away, but a Glass rocks towards the back, managing to grab the opposing Gambit. What a pick up here for Sparker, who wants to... Oh, what a turn! Smashnez just gets his head blown to smithereens by the monster piercer. Sparker is making himself known in the server.
Getting to see how RAD are going to respond to this with the Razor listening. They've got a chance here to switch things around, but they're still fighting.
Oh, nice. We got a listening. I'm glad they're doing a lot more listenings.
If you look at Tingled, I'm looking at... Side's gonna have ult, Side's gonna have ult. Keep your legs. They're out.
I don't have link, I use product.
I can look on mine on top maybe. Get your head on this, get your head on this.
Careful for the thing. I think you can just sponge them.
Yeah, only man. Because every hero.
I'm 90 on
To be honest with you, we're spectating VIRTUS.PRO, but I think we're listening into RAD. So it's very confusing, but...
Looking back, I'm looking back. Okay, then maybe. I'm gonna grab back, I'm gonna grab back. Back.
Nice comms.
That's going to be a big
Nice.
punishment there of the man called out by Ducky and followed up on by the remainder of RAD. However, Fincy will return courtesy of the battle recall beacon. And so towards even Stevens. Fire's going to try and turn this one around. Down to Butterflies towards the back. Can they catch up to Mash? No, too fast on his feet and fast on the resurrections as well. Vertigo brings back Ducky, and so it's a fully staffed front line for RAD to try and hold this point.
It's only the one that they brought back, but it's forced VIRTUS.PRO to rethink how they want to fight this, but they were trying to disengage and smash theirs with the Apex Predators, brought Fincy back into the fold.
And Fincy doesn't have the speed to escape the clutches of the Wolfpack. They tear at his flesh and tear him apart.
It's a little bit feral, but that's the kind of expectation from Crazy Kitty, this time Smashnez, who has absolutely warmed up to the occasion, playing on LAN with RAD for the first time. Seen this organization at mid-season finals before, but here, very different squad that is very scary against the likes of VP.
Personally don't like
Trying to
the
regain
Psylocke
control as overtime
pick.
is about to hit.
That's just me.
Saipe ready to rush everyone forward. The Raging Royal Flush is going to take so much space away from RAD. Will they be able to answer it? Mash is still 12% away from having his own answer here, as Fire's got a couple of hostages in this back room. Sparker looking for an opening to try and lay down the Apex Predator. Already there, VIRTUS.PRO get the flip, and RAD is taking it slow.
They've managed to get this point onto hand, but RAD have got that Royal Flush themselves ready to build up. Crazy Kid has just got the Rage of Ultron taken out, but Sparker finds the right target.
They're going to invest with only 5 here. RAD believe it's winnable in a 5 versus 6, but we still haven't dealt with Sparker on the off angle. Ducky moving forward, fully charged with a Sonic Beam. Fincy can't stand up to the damage. No, only the thing
Yo, wait a minute. Is VIRTUS.PRO gonna... Never mind.
Sonic Seduction. Saipe is charmed in the back, but has some cover to try and work with. Vertigo gets the angle, and only the remainders of VIRTUS.PRO can try and keep
is
this
RAD
one
gonna...
contested. The Rage of Ultron rains down from above, and even while Fincy
Yo,
is
how you
getting
doing,
the
TTK's
assistance
dad? I
of
hope
the
you and
Cosmic
your son are
Amplifier,
doing well.
not much more can be done.
I miss
Mash
you guys. I
fans
wish
on
you
their
guys
way
were
back,
still
but
here.
Overtime begins to tick. Fires to get themselves onto a point. Still long enough for Nevix to open up the pentagram. But Ferrala Restrejo is going to move forward on the Lunar Snow.
And there's only 3 players alive on the objective for RAD. Crazy Kid is going to be able to come back. Vertigo bringing himself
Oh,
into the fray.
VIRTUS.PRO. Oh, no, VIRTUS.PRO is so
Down.
lucky.
The numbers are back for VP, and ultimates are plenty.
Perfect up and crush from Fincy there onto the thing, and then Nevix blocks off the heels with the shield of the Seraphim. Rad have been sent scurrying away, but they're going to portal back of their own accord as well, and Mash doesn't really want to try and commit to this one, and has moved away from a Gambit, so they've lost all of their charge towards the next Royal Flush.
That was a very early portal, like nobody else is ready. People are still staggering to come in back from spawn, so this is very scattered from Rad.
Yeah, now it's Lugia who's on the Gambit and might not be quite so adept when it comes to dodging the incoming.
Wait! Psylocke!
Here as Sparker looks on nicely. Nevix going to approach.
I like how the only time we ever see a Psylocke though is when she was ulting. She's back to being an ult merchant, chat.
An incursion is defeated, and so too is Rad's spirited attempt.
I cannot believe VIRTUS.PRO brought that back. I cannot believe VIRTUS.PRO brought that back, bro.
That's only round one. This series has gone the full distance plenty of times, but you have to look at it from like two moments from Mash in particular. One, using the Royal Flush, a player down. It felt like that's been something that has been pointed out from Mash in particular, like numbers disadvantage, still going for a big ultimate, turning some of the fights, but if it doesn't go well,
Five? Hey, chat, apparently I'm wrong. Five's popping off though. He's 14-1, 6 finals. Sparker has 7, he's 10-3.
VIRTUS.PRO can get into position knowing where the portal's going to be, and you have a Psylocke with Dance of the Butterflies.
Smash Naz as well is popping off.
A little bit against Navi earlier today, a couple of like rogue ultimates, but he was feeling much more in control with where these Royal Flushes are coming in from both.
Finally met Saipei yesterday. He is so humble. Saipei is a very
they kept it calm. Lugia was
he's a very, very quiet
for Stone Haymakers trying
guy.
To really tax that exit. But the second that he moved in, we did see a Carbon Crush get hit by the Emma Frost. They were isolated away from their team, and the block off of the heals from the shield that was put up by Nevix was so important.
The team-ups are plenty, as you're sort of seeing on the left. Rad trying to use as many of the new tech as you possibly can. But the main one, Gambit bringing in the the Ultron alongside the Adam, and then the front lines looking a little bit stronger. VIRTUS.PRO making sure that they use that Magneto Gambit combination to the best ability, because it is one-sided with the Mag.
All right, Vertigo ready for a resurrection as well, and this could be incredibly important in this fight in particular. You want to play
it's with an F, not a P.
First control, because you're playing through defensive manner.
Oh, his name is
no second chance available for them, no battle recall beacon,
oh, okay. Yo, I like Safei.
So Sparker now has to try and find a clutch with the Apex Predator. It might not be a full engagement, but Vertigo found on the outside. It's going to have to use their Cocoon Revival to return in earnest.
Come on, Safei. You almost have ult. You almost have ult, Safei. Safei
is looking like to be flipped towards Rad. Now the eliminations are going to all but confirm that, but VIRTUS.PRO still trying to fight out as much as they can. Once it's lost, disengage. You don't want to feed up any more ultimates. And Rad have a good few to work with, notably the
I'm calling him Saipai, chat. Deal with it. L+ ratio.
Like, you don't have great angle check on Rad. You don't really have a hugely mobile duelist to try and make sure that Fi can't work those angles.
VIRTUS.PRO, you're sort of almost playing like an older composition, right? Outside of like the Gambit Elsa introductions towards the end of Ignite beforehand. You've got that front line of Fincy Nevix playing that old Vanguard front line that we saw pretty much mid-season finals last year. Rad want to try and get out there. Lugia is in a good position to try and take these picks, but the Royal Flush for Saipei sending in.
Raging Royal Flush met by Crazy Kitty. The Rage of Ultron will be well known here as the meteor.
Oh, he got too close to a wall, bro. If you're ulting, don't get close to a wall, chat, because even if they don't directly hit you, they just have to hit the wall and you're dead.
Resurrection for Mad Cannon's exactly what Nevix needed, and so there's no second chances for this one. Rad are going to lose
a lot of people are actually going out today. Actually, this is the lower bracket. Whoever loses does go home. Also, 2 teams did go home yesterday. I believe it was OUG and 100 Thieves.
Rage of Ultron so quick to build that might be able to beat his stuff on the edge. So Nevix doing so well with the Meteor M to just make sure that one of those 3 pesky strategists are out, and it wasn't a great opportunity for a Comet Revival to come in either for Vertigo.
Fincy standing on business. Those things start to get a little bit hairy. They can just pop this Sonic Seduction and force a disengage from Rad. Going to be losing some HP at the back of a Soul Siphon, but already Smashnet is taken down by Nevix. These iron volleys are just so precise. And what there is with democratization of damage, courtesy of the Soul Bond, finally to make sure that they get out of this one alive, is trying to confuse with the clone.
Oh,
so
come on.
Disengage, Fi can't go anywhere.
He's just trying to back out, got caught on the corner, so Rad having a good opportunity to try and actually flip the point in the end, but VIRTUS.PRO is so good around playing the objective, they're going to stall for a good amount of time. And Rad,
can you imagine?
Retreat themselves into that fight.
They have really the same. Oh, nice dodge, I think. I think they had the same hero pool, but can you imagine like if Sparker had like
Mash goes down to Sparker, but Smashness manages to win their duel and then turn upon Fi.
Terra as a second DPS. Jeez.
We got to say, like, looking at Fi, he was the first one to sort of go down in that engagement. Sparker trying to go into this Elsa head-to-head. Not seeing a Black Widow on either side. Notably for RAD, like SmashDez feeling a lot more comfortable on what was the queen of the meta at the start of this year with the Elsa. Full instinct, but obviously using the ultimate doesn't have too much offensively to go for. Even the likes of Silent Seduction available for Ducky might want to use it now with that Royal Flush being used again from Saipe.
Yeah, Silent Seduction is going to keep them at bay, wasting the time with that raging Royal Flush. A quick bit of control there onto Sparker, but Fi manages to get out with their life for now. Ducky avoids being charmed, grabbing their primary threat, but can't quite get the spinning kick that's needed to deliver the burst damage, and so Vertigo is forced to use the Karmic Revival to bring back the fallen members of RAD. They've got plenty of ults to try and work with them now. 2 strategist ults on the backhand side. In fact, if they would like for it, they are going to be down Vertigo for the majority of this, as Srijo's going to drag everyone forward with the fate of both worlds. Surely Mash has to respond, and the call and response is going to be the raging Royal Flush. Crazy Kitty finds one, SmashDez 2 on the other side, and already Fincy has deployed the Pentagram of Ferala for some backhanded attempt at a back cap. My goodness, Nevix just floats above them.
There's no way. How does VIRTUS.PRO go from losing the fight to magically just somehow turning it and like winning the fight?
How has it turned out like this? RAD seemed to be a player down, used a Royal
Like,
Flush,
it just
turned
doesn't
fight,
make
but it's
any sense. That's
another
the
amazing
knowledge,
call from
chat.
VIRTUS.PRO to actually flip the objective. Means that if we get stalled in OT, it's not going to be available next time. But RAD, they
See,
almost
it's
just
that
wiped the point
wisdom,
with VP
bro.
going for that contest in itself. It was just a huge error, and VP have capitalized off of it.
Nevix now, though, has lost the anchor on his team up for Magneto, and so that clone won't last forever.
No, not even slightly. Finzy staying over on this character might be able to build up an Eye of Agamotto when things start to close out on the distance, but a Rage of Ultron from Crazy Kitty is going to be the thing that maybe starts things up for this engagement, and Lugia with the clobbering time needs to get in close. He's always close.
Oh, but he's taken so much damage. The
no,
monster
dude.
Piercer just breaks through that meaty HP bar in a matter of seconds. Rad of them space on the point, though. Apex Predator towards the back. It grabs in Nevix. The follow-up's going to be there. SmashDez now knows that the future of Rad is in his hands. Looks to Sparker towards the outside, but doesn't want to take an underman fight. Instead, Saipe and Fi make move towards the back. Extra movement speed is teleported away from here as you find the stragglers on the other side. SmashDez goes down. Crazy Kitty's next, and Rad, they've been scattered to the 4 wins. They don't really
I
have
think
the
RAD is a
return
great
reinforcements
team,
that
but I
they
feel
need.
like they're
Everyone
beating
has to pile in
themselves.
through the portal. Lugia goes finally here, and Mash has been found on the other side. A little bit peel for themselves on the back of a team up, but Fi's just there on the chase. Vertigo's returning 40% away from the Karmic
Yeah,
Revival.
bro,
Rad
I
all
feel
out
like
options,
Virtus-
all out of second chances and all out of mulligans. Despite SmashDez's spirited attempt, surely VIRTUS.PRO are just going to get
That's
in here.
crazy.
And
Wait,
dominate
Spider-Man
on the
by
point.
Crazy Kitty. Bro,
Only way to describe
RAD
that, I think, for
literally
VIRTUS.PRO was
threw,
poised. It
dude.
felt
RAD
that when the
literally
chaos started to
threw.
rain, Saipe's ultimates were pretty much perfect every single time they needed
Wait, did the
to be
caster
with
just
the
say
gambit
his name
to
is
find
Saipe?
those right
Wow.
kind of
Oh my
fights.
god. They
But even
didn't say
stuff like
such with the
Finzy,
fit.
Calm going for the
Wow, I'm
portal
surprised.
contest, not letting it
Huh.
go to a round 3.
Wow.
RAD, I think you
Wow.
look back at that and you go, there's a lot of errors there that could have cost us this one because it was close. 99% to 99% on both of these 2 points. And Fi actually, I mean, one of the players to sort of highlight going over towards the
Bro,
silo, having a good
I cannot
performance,
believe-
but it really just gives...
I cannot believe RAD had the chance to win both rounds, and they fumbled, chat. They fumbled, bro. Jesus, fumbled, dude.
In that category.
11 final hits for Fi. Was MVP at the end of
And
round
Fi
1
was
as
MVP,
well.
yo.
For VIRTUS.PRO, this is going to be a little bit of a buoying of the confidence after they kind of got read really strongly by Na'Vi in our first series of the day.
And I think one thing for like VIRTUS.PRO playing up against Triple Strategist, this is a team, I guess similar, like Swamp has it said about them as well, where it's just like they don't really play Triple Strategist. VIRTUS.PRO, when they look bad, it's like they're behind on the meta, whether it is Triple Vanguard, Triple Strategist, something that isn't 2-2-2. They pretty much keep it very casual and very straightforward. And even with RAD trying to change things up to go for this first strategy themselves, it felt that VIRTUS.PRO was still in control. Having the damage, you have to highlight players like SmashDez, 15 final hits, but he's the only duelist. He has it all to do himself.
Sparker's
which feels
disgusting.
like Crazy Kitty, he's a great player, really good Ultron. You need some more of that offensive capability, just to open the map up a little bit more for SmashDez to get those hits.
Yeah, like Crazy Kitty, as you said, good Ultron, but doesn't quite have the agency that he has on something like a Daredevil or a
thank
Black
you.
Cat, or
Also,
even the
did
Human
this-
Torch occasionally from Crazy Kitty. And I think being able to have this like double angle,
Did you, tweet anything?
like pincer of duelists from VIRTUS.PRO did allow them to really force some different positions coming through from RAD and catch Mash out a couple of times.
You'd have to imagine now if RAD, when it got down...
We are Robert. Can I have a free
has
sub?
been the halls of Jallia to come out against the likes of 100 Thieves, Reject, and Team Liquid Citadel. And notably, that Team Liquid Citadel game, they won. Feels that VIRTUS.PRO are going to probably
Jay, you need a shirt like that?
Be the map of
Yo.
choice here. I mean, it's been like 3 picks, all of which going towards RAD. But
I low-key really like Suspenders.
See other dominations come
I think Suspenders look really good.
That's the scary thing about them. It's like if they go map down, they don't really have that home ground at the same.
Gives me that old detective vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Consistently rely on to go to
What?
as a choice. So luckily, able to win out on domination.
Doesn't give you Steve
Yeah,
Urkel vibes. No, it's like old detector vibes, you know?
Which is a very rare pick, and maybe was a specialized pick against Na'Vi to go, okay, let's go to a zone where we haven't really fought Na'Vi before. Maybe they won't be as familiar with our strategy. Maybe they aren't as familiar with our game. But now that that's out there, now that the data's out in the wild, you bet that RAD were watching that series with bated breath to try and figure out everything they could about VIRTUS.PRO.
And I think with, you look at the sort of stats, certainly towards like the duelists, it's always going to be like your hit scan players doing like maybe 10k damage more. In this case, on the side of like Sparker, 28k damage, 19 for Fi. But the one thing you don't see on this graphic is final hits. It's 16 for Sparker and 11 for Fi. And I think some of those games that VP haven't looked as good, it has been like Fi doing a lot less damage. That's natural, that's expected. But like having 4 final hits, just
Sorry, chat. The game hasn't started yet. I just want to see something. I think they need to put Crazy Kitty on a DPS, bro. I mean, I know they're trying to run that triple support, but, like, I mean, can't have Smash Naz doing everything, bro. 15 final hits and everything. At least here, it's, like, more even. 8, 11, 10, 16.
a lot less damage. That's natural. Time that we would have seen it would have been the grand finals, played up against the likes of Na'Vi. Very close games, some of them, but overall this has been a map that has been fairly comfortable for VIRTUS.PRO across their history, but this was also the first map that they ever dropped to Team Peps back at the Invitational.
Oh man, you are bringing up the ancient lore. The dwarves wrote that on mithril tablets.
Yeah. It's the oldies, but they're the goodies as well. So RAD is a bit more of like a surprise, but it has been a good map for them. They beat Pulsar. I remember that game as well because that was in stage 1 groups. They were like looking at Crisis, trying to actually ban around it because he's sort of gone to the strategist. Fortunately not here. Certainly one of the highlight moments of Grand Finals when he just came in, snapped on VIRTUS.PRO in one map and then dipped.
Oh, did you put a little bit of salt in that?
Yeah, pretty much. But it is like a Heretics. Last time we did see RAD play, it was a full push. So this is RAD actually being able to push towards the end of the map consistently, and it does look like they're going to be attacking first.
A little bit more priority here, going towards Ducky and Lugia's hero pool. For Magneto being saved first to allow for that fragging power off the back of the Chaos Blade that can be offered over to Magneto. A Loki taken away, has been creeping into the early ban phase now, as Loki is, of course, as powerful as ever.
Yeah, I mean, especially on Convoy, it's almost been like a first protect. It just didn't know specific scenarios, just to have something
The
if it's going
coach
to be
is
a double
half
rocket,
naked.
double gambit. Even like the Camera Revival, having a copy of that with an invisible boundary. There's
What
just
coach?
too many strategists to actually take out triple strategist on a map like this. So it is surprising that RAD haven't gone for the Ultron Protect. It's a little bit scary.
Chat, that's
that the
not
map's gone,
half
okay,
naked,
didn't work with
bro.
domination.
Right out the window.
Yeah.
And
I
it
don't
doesn't
think it's
matter,
that
bro.
as
If your
such.
coach
I
is
think it's
half
just
naked,
Magneto
that's a lot of
for both these teams
motivation
trying
to,
draw the
you know,
line and eke
if you're
things
feeling
further
down,
on
just look at
as
your
you start
coach.
Pushing is necessary and needed.
That's a lot of
especially the ball
motivation
wants
right
some
there.
more sustenance.
Okay, simultaneous ban going to come through here now from both of our teams. Adam's still on the table. Penny still on the table, of
Chat,
course.
the girl is not a
Oh,
coach.
yeah.
She
Everyone's
works
making
for.
sure there are no
She's
second
just making
chances.
sure.
The mortal
She's like
coil
production.
has been unwound.
That's not the
It's
coach,
now just a
chat.
mortal line. You are up or you are down.
Other than the Rocket Beacon, I suppose.
We don't talk about the
Yeah,
Rocket.
we've seen less of Rocket. It hasn't been quite like the big ban of it beforehand, but you've already taken out Loki for all of the different reasons, the team up with Mantis and stuff, even when it isn't enhanced, it's still
That's the
pretty
coach,
good.
chat. That's
but
the
the invisible
coach.
boundary is going to be protected for VP to just sort of allow a little bit more of that hold, I suppose. It's just making sure that you have something as like a main strategist to pump out that healing, even though like Gambit is still available on both sides. Never mind, RAD have just taken it and made it one-sided.
Yeah, it does seem like with Gambit being on the table and protecting Invis, this better be a very strong pocket strat from VIRTUS.PRO to leave that Gambit on the table and allow for RAD to snatch it away from him. Weave equals snatched, Ryan.
I'm also a little bit surprised of like it's going to be a one-sided invis that's been hovered over. Ultron not touched by either team. Penny not touched by either team. So that team up, I imagine, is going to come out in full force.
When you
That's
think
team-wide
your
damage
coach is
boost, a bunch
giving
of
you a
healing
pat
for
on the
everybody.
shoulder, but you turn and see both of his
Very
arms
Marvel Rivals
crossed.
9.0.
Yep. And I think you've got Ji Young in the audience of just like, yeah, this was one of the like adjustments. I was very excited to see Ultron. Like, I really like playing him, but I'm like, in like 2-2-2, I would like to be able to play Ultron. But even then, it's like, yeah, this seems a little bit egregious, right? But that's just, you know, the triple strategist side of stuff. It's always a problem. It's always available. And I am curious to see with VIRTUS.PRO, they had really sort of nailed down the triple Vanguard, triple strategist compositions on stuff like Yggdrasil, like during Ignite across its whole like inaugural year of last year. Seems like maybe now it's going to be what they roll out with, but the storm is in the sky and it's in the shape of a crazy kitty.
I mean, Crazy Kitty's one of those like original Storm Human Torch players, like in the Frost Mountain vibe, right? Like, these are people who are very vertically gifted.
Okay, guys, let's get it.
When it comes to these flying characters.
I know Frost Mountain sat at home just like, just let me get on stage. This is my medal. Like, that's my girl. That's my character.
He's the Leo meme. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
I've been mentioned.
Wait. So far, like, Rad's Gambit is available and open for Rad, so Mash doesn't have to worry about Saipei matching him on the other side, but it is their
Damn,
map
I
choice.
like
They don't
this,
wanna
I
get
like
full health
this.
like Swamp just did.
All right, fine. Going to be holding the line here. With the additional power of the Chaos Blade at their back, this is going to be a VIRTUS.PRO 3-3 that has a lot of damage behind it, including the Vibranium team up for Penny Park here as well to increase that fire rate.
You got Fide, it's over on the Magneto, trying to see if he can copy what Energy was able to do in their
Sparker?
first series against Rad.
On the Ultron?
To Nevix. The rocket means that there is going to be that recall beacon allowing those three frontliners to come back into this fight as Rad are trying to find a way to Splinter now that there's a bit of a cooldown.
Time moving in cycles. Rad back to the oldest tricks in the book to break those spawn holds. Storm and Punisher, we saw it earlier from Na'Vi, to great effect against VIRTUS.PRO's Penny Ultron composition. Fi gets isolated, bounced around a couple of times, but the rescue seems to be there. And watch for that flaming shield from Invis, because if you start to get your sword projectiles through it as Mag, you are going to be doing unlimited damage.
I mean, it's a whole, like, just cartoonish battle over on the objective, but with all of these on the ground when it comes to the Penny setup, now it's the Yan Amplify trying to push on through.
Cosmic Amplify is going to force a disengage here, but VIRTUS.PRO aren't going to have anywhere to go for the second phase is what's interesting. They can wait outside phase ultimate because
I mean, I think
VIRTUS.PRO
it should have been a
can't
little
really
bit more
exit that
forward,
invisible
but at
boundary
least they,
safely. And that means the second it goes down, Mash is going to have the opening. Smashner's beginning to cook. Down goes the unlimited ammo. Mash waits in the back with the Raging Royal Flush and is still hoping that VIRTUS.PRO will give away
Okay, let's see this, chat.
the turns that are being taken by Rad before they have to commit.
Rad, that's going to be an ult fiesta. I hope you guys are ready for their ult fiesta.
Meteor and see if it can eat up much. It's thrown out prematurely. Can't find
Oh,
the elimination,
no,
but
they
there's
used
the
Mag,
combination
they
mentioned
missed
for
the
Rad.
Punisher,
It's found the
the-
picks it needs, but Vi is going to be brought back very soon.
The extra speed is everything. What was Streetsrow doing? Oh, why is Bro peeking that ultimate? Up into the sky.
That
with
is a
lot of free
ballsy
time. Maybe
fucking
Olympico can
ultimate,
try
bro.
and save this one. And Smasher's been resurrected by the Battle Recall Beacon. Frank Castle has returned as Crazy Kitty lands on the floor with the Omega Hurricane. Nowhere for Sparker to go, and that is going to be surely a big pull-in here for Rad. This should be the claiming of the point. Let's see how they're celebrating with our Razor listening.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
Putting TP, putting
I will
TP,
die, I will
putting
die.
TP, putting TP, jump through.
Die soon. Push point is
I'm touching. I need to jump through.
Yeah, we're all locked.
I'm touching. I don't. You just touch.
I'm coming.
Next play.
Fine, it's fine.
Damn,
Can go
bro.
two.
Yeah, I'm going also.
You just go.
På side, no? Yeah.
You just go Emma.
Yeah, I can go Emma, you go Mac.
Go Luna, Jodro.
Damn, I love the. They're a really good team. When it comes to comms, they are very like clear, precise. They know what they want to do.
Did I hear a Lamau?
They're a
in the
very
middle of that?
experienced team,
I don't know
Virtus.PRO.
where it is.
They have
we
a.
just lost it
I mean,
Lamau, but
they're all
yeah,
like
VIRTUS.PRO trying to
ex-Overwatch
contest,
League,
not
chat. Like I
looking
said,
too,
and their
as
coach
hot
is
as they did
ex-Overwatch
with the
League.
sort of portal contest. There
They
was
have
bit
a
too
lot of
much, but Rad have
experience,
been
man.
consistently
They're
pushing
cool,
past this
calm,
first.
and
They don't get
collected.
spawn held often. They usually finish out the map, but they've got 3.5 minutes to get to the second checkpoint.
All right, Smashnez seeing the approach of Vasalak, wondering if that is going to be a clone. Actually, VIRTUS.PRO trying to get an 8 versus 6 here with multiple Emma team-ups, allowing for these Psionic clones to be projected towards RAD, but RAD are going to have a bit of an advantage when it comes to initiative here off the back of playing the Cosmic Yarn Amplify. Sivitru's just already been a little bit warded away by Crazy Kitty, who's just being a melee bruiser on the car.
Yeah, he said it gives him more initiative. He's on the duelist, so that sort of helps. They're actually going to try and combo up as the Emma wants to try to put Matt Murdoch in an early grave and cannot quite do that. Smash There's punishes on the other side.
And now VIRTUS.PRO are forced to invest.
Oh, Crazy Kitty is going on the melee characters. Okay, I'm ready for this.
Given over. The invisible boundary from Cypher is sure to go away soon as Nevix waits with the Meteor M. Needs someone in the back, can't force a resurrection. Nice play to the sky. Excellent dodge from Vertigo, who now can put down their Cosmic Yarn.
That is funny, bro. Seeing a rocket just shoot up like that is funny.
In hand going all in onto the Rocket Raccoon, but look at the dash forward there from Mash to absorb a slice. Extra damage coming through from a Meteor M means that Dredro is turned into a twisted furry salad where a Rocket Raccoon once stood in defense of this point for VIRTUS.PRO. Getting
A furry
low on
salad?
the Drakes. It seems like RAD are so close to capturing this one, and no one really has the meat to keep it contested.
And I mean, the way to describe that salad on this map so far for VIRTUS.PRO is
Even the
hairy,
caster
because it
said, what
hasn't
a
quite
great
worked out
way
in
to
their favor.
describe
Still a
that
good portion of
salad.
time.
Bro,
VP
what the
just
hell are we
adjustment for
listening
RAD, it was
to,
right
bro?
at the perfect time. The triple strategist, the sort of like bunker breaking composition straight
Oh
to 2-2.
my
Crazy Kitty
God.
having the let the devil out ultimate means that RAD can continue
I
this
don't know about
momentum,
you guys,
and
but
there's
I
no
love
strategist ultimates to
the
work with
furry
VP.
salads.
Oh, great responses coming through from the Magneto.
Oh,
Protecting
yeah,
Smashness, but he was
yeah.
caught unawares by the rising of Fincy, but so much space has had to be given away already by VIRTUS.PRO.
There comes in the ultimate for Crazy Kitty, but Ducky's the one that finds the first blood in this engagement. He's trying to dive in and has to be careful he doesn't accidentally slip off the side of the map. He's put the pressure to force VIRTUS.PRO pretty much all the way back to the spawn, so it's more window and time for this objective, the payload, to move uncontested.
Letting the devil out and moving like a demon. Fi still threatening around the back, but Mash has the self-peel off the Raging Royal Flash if needed. A wall blocks out the Living Bullet. Sparker begins to cook towards the back, has access to the Apex Predator.
The invisible boundary is going to be forced out in the end.
That's going to mean that Cypher can sustain the remainder of VIRTUS.PRO here as well. Fincy still has the Meteor M on the backhand side, and it's going to keep Mash at bay as they have to build up towards the next ultimate. Here comes the Apex Predator. The Glassrocks towards the back, but the Monster Piercer is perfectly placed.
That looked like my
Smash
Glassrocks. I don't think it hit
really
anything.
falling down to that. Still the Meteor M in the back pocket. There's a lull in the action to play for positions.
It's RAD trying to take fights everywhere as well, whether it was on the side with the Let the Devil Out ultimate, now it's on the high ground, then it was on the low. It's just constantly bouncing around for VIRTUS.PRO, but somehow they're keeping everybody up and topped up. They now have the fate of both worlds if it gets rusty.
Cosmic Yarn Amplifier going to be deployed. That's so much charge, and it almost is.
Oh!
Lugia!
Lugia! That is my
a triple
goat, bro. I don't know if you guys remember, but Lugia and Mash were both on my team in the Bogard tournament. The last one, not this one that just happened. The last one, and we won. So RAD has two teammates of mine that won.
Attempts for RAD to finish out on Spider Island.
That was a fat ult, bro. That's LeBron, bro.
To match it. You got to say, like, RAD want this opportunity, right? It's
That mouse
like
pad
came
is
into it. And speaking to them before,
nice.
they're Giant Slayers. They've done this against VIRTUS.PRO. They've looked very good against these top teams, and they've played the most on stage so far this time. VIRTUS.PRO, there's a lot of expectation. World champions, but then they drop out of preseason to this team, no less, and are not even the second seed going into the first international event, and suddenly now in the elimination bracket, something that didn't happen at all during grand finals.
Ryan, look at these stats. This is a pantsing.
That is crazy, though. Look at this. Look at this: 18-1, 11-0, 15-1, 14-2. Fi is 1-4. Sparker, the goat, is 3-3. Finzy, our boy Finzy, is 1-7.
See some triple strategists, a lot more of them taken
Bro.
down. In fact, that was all of the bans. I do want to call this composition when we have Jubilee, Juba 3.
Because it's a free win when you go against it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been
We'll
Northern
see.
3. There you go. It could be, yeah. 3 yellow in it.
I'm the last person to make fun of not being able to pronounce DHs, let's be real.
I mean, it's just hop over the Atlantic and enunciate it, but so far for RAD, all of their I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So far, this defense set up with the only time we've seen Jubilee in these triple strategist compositions.
Yeah, fully charged orb here as well.
No, Jubilee is usually used. She was used a lot actually the past few days, chat, in 3-3 team comp. She's not. This is not the first time we've seen her. This is the first time we've probably seen her today, but this is not the first time we've seen her in the tournament.
Niche on playing this off angle for healing that isn't as stymied by Groot's constructions.
Spies the one in the sky as the Storm this time, see if they could break it, but there's no Punisher for Sparky. He's just wanted to keep on the Elsa, see if he can go for these ultimates in the end, but RAD are doing really well to actually sustain this. Ultimate's not quite there, even for the strategist, as it's all going to be divvied out with the healing. So VIRTUS.PRO might be able to get some big ults first, but they're obviously going to let the Gambit.
Yeah, Nevic's taken down.
Wow, RAD is doing really well.
100 energy on the Sonic.
Good shit by RAD, bro.
Without Nevix to help them reinforce the front line, it's very perilous movement.
I mean, VP have just struggled to get these final hits, and against this composition, it's going to be harder. You just see the Vanguards trading blows on each other, but all that's doing is getting RAD really set up with 3 strategist ultimates on the horizon. Yarm Amplify's going to be there first, though.
Yarms are open, but will it be weaving a tail on the tapestries, or will it be pushed directly into the bin? Fi can't stick around. That's one damage boost, or if it's not going to be around for the remainder of this. And Crazy Kid is just getting so much neutral healing. This is what the Jubilee is bringing to the table. Inside of that orb, 50 HPS, you don't need pockets.
And RAD don't need an ultimate. They're going to have all 6 available on this defense as they manage to bot up more than half the time, but it's Silent Seduction that's going to come out first from Finzi. Nothing's been forced out from RAD other than the Meteor M just then.
Oh, overwhelming of the Meteor M gets burst in the hand of Lugia.
Sorry, I had to text my dad.
3 members of VIRTUS.PRO. Bratslav plenty to work with though. Out comes the Raging Royal Flush. Dare Mash go inside of this ultimate. 3 players caught in place with the
no,
prison.
dude.
The damage is so high. Sparker's the first to fall, and Nevix and Fire will surely join them.
What a hold by RAD.
The fight's already done. The curtains have been closed.
Has anybody from RAD been eliminated at this point? Like, there's no rocket on the defense.
This is looking very, very bad for RAD. Dude,
5 of the 6 ultimates available used.
Sparker the GOAT is 3 and 4?
Strong with Prison. Nevix needs to find something with it, especially with the Punisher ultimate on the way for 5.
Jubilee, going to be our most powerful here. Giving those knockbacks, can try and drive VIRTUS.PRO back to the cliffs, but not Fi. Going to be CC immune during the Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Cosmic Yarn Amplifier moving forward. Nevix knows that it's now or never, as Vertigo just keeps everyone healed up inside of this zone. Look at this, they're just hiding away. Yeah, it's huge card control here for VIRTUS.PRO.
Oh, nice cleanse.
Chase after the objective itself.
I think they cleansed that. Yeah, they cleansed that.
Died on the side of RAD through these big ultimates and the damage boosts. VIRTUS.PRO
nice. Oh, dude, RAD is doing really well with the rotations and everything, too. Their ult cycles.
Try and return, though. Up come the walls, and what's going to be behind them? It's Nevix in a bubble. Unlimited ammo. So much damage going to be forced away of the opposing Groot. And the cart continues to move. Spider Zero going towards the Master Weaver zone. But now you've just got to try and get everyone off of this zone if you're VIRTUS.PRO. Up comes the opening, and Lugia barely even existed in this fight before they are evicted by the Wolverine's adamantium claws.
It was like the Sentinel spray. As soon as the Doctor Strange gets there, the Wolverine scoops it back up, and now finally some semblance for VIRTUS.PRO to work with. Invisible Boundary and a Silent Seduction about to be ready to go, but it's more to keep VIRTUS.PRO in this map with 20 seconds left.
Apex Predator seems to have grabbed a little bit. Sparker moves towards the back, ready with
oh, come on, Sparker.
It's necessary, but can you even get onto a point right now with your RAD? The last contestant dragged away.
Oh, come on, Sparker. Come on, Sparker. You got this, bro. You gotta be the hero.
Out comes the Raging Royal.
Nice! Is he the hero?
Right here and now.
No one died!
4 seconds remain. Smashes is getting so much healing. Nevins can't find the end, but eventually they will. An extended grassy tendril. An attempted knockback from the Jubilee to try and force some manner of C9.
At least they
but
cat
Nevix
first.
stays strong inside of a bubble. They have all the tenacity that they need to remain in contention. Mash is here on the Spider-Man, but it's all said and done.
Mash on Spider-Man?
Finally, VIRTUS.PRO continue on, but they must have been sweating.
Oh, bro, I love chat. I love switching to Spider-Man in overtime, bro. You guys know how good my Spider-Man is in overtime, bro. Every time I go Spider-Man, it ends up being like the best plays in the world.
See if he could dive in and sort of disengage as much as possible. There's Finzi switching over to the Magneto.
Crazy Kitty knows with this slow Vanguard line of Nevix and Finzi, healing opportunities are going to be few and far between once they are committed to a fight.
It's just the trading of blows. It's not a great position for RAD to try and re-engage the objective, but you want to take these fights. In fact, Crazy Kitty is just doing the best Finzi impression, just stalling the objective as much as possible, but not Captain America this time. Trades on either side, but VIRTUS.PRO now using this Punisher ultimate to find the retribution needed to take this map.
Ducky's just going to try and disengage here, bring up the walls in the way. Too much damage has been taken by Fire to really press that much further. And Rad safely disengaged from a primary threat.
Well, that's twice now that Fi's brought out this ultimate, and Rad have disengaged nicely. Now they do have the Royal Flush if they want to try and go in on an engagement, but right now VIRTUS.PRO is sort of cruising along.
Mash stands ready. A raging Royal Flush. Ducky, we know, has been adventurous with these Groot ultimates. Ducky falling low. Does he go high, though? Can't have it absorbed by Fincy. And all of the healing towards Ducky is being absorbed as well. What is Bro ulting?
What did he see?
What did he see? Who spoke to him? Ducky towards the back! 2 players inside Invisible Boundary. The instant response as Ducky just tries to platform away from the incoming erection of a forest that's been lain down here by Nevix. Saipe, Tridro in the back. They've already used everything that they have. Vertigo on the backhand side is using Fate of Both Worlds.
It was just going for the Strangler Prism, force the Invisible Boundary off of the objective and then fighting on it, but VIRTUS.PRO managed to springboard that play into taking out the Vanguards. Everybody else is going to drop, and suddenly there's life in this one for VP.
Yeah, they hit the DPS check as well. No enraging of the raid boss this time around. VIRTUS.PRO now have 2 minutes to try and match Rad's completion.
I think they were a bit surprised at what Finzy was aiming at. Everybody turned around and like, Ducky's like, okay, now's my chance. Strangler Prism, go. Immediately sort of protected from VP. It forces out the Invisible Boundary, which is what they wanted, but it wasn't a good opportunity for Lugia to have a Meteor M or Crazy Kitty's going for the calling card. And there's a window now. No strategist ultimate's not to really beat this, but Nevix having a Strangler Prism might be the pick to just stop this onslaught as the defense comes in again.
Nevix caught in place.
Excuse me, chat. Sorry, my bad.
And there is the falling Crazy Kitty.
Quiet down, Jay3. Oh, sorry, guys. My bad. I'll never sneeze again.
The resurrection onto Nevix.
I'll never breathe again, too. Fuck it.
Somewhere. I'm not sure if Nevix really got anyone. It would appear that the casualty feed is not going to be implying it. Instead, Crazy Kitty was left isolated on their own and is going to fall for it.
Maybe it just isolated Crazy Kitty enough that nobody else could really come in for the dive. But then again, you've got a Groot and a Magneto that are trying to match you. Speaking of which, Lugia seeing if the Meteor M can find much on a low HP Nevix, but there was enough there to actually keep him up and fighting. Every time Rad try to go in on the offensive, they're finding very little. It's like the roles are reversed from the first point.
Yeah, when Nevix needed all that healing, it was not available for Fincy on that angle, getting aggressive with the sword.
And you've only got like 45 seconds left now, but yeah, an Amplifier and Fi with this ultimate. Fi needs to find something, and you know that Rad are expecting it. They have a rolling flush. They also want to just try and get in and out, but Ducky is now going for the Strangler Prison, and it's set up Crazy Kitty for 2.
Yeah, Crazy Kitty gets 2. I think that Fi's actually just going to give up the ultimate to go over to the Daredevil instead. Needs to continue checking the progress of this Black Cat. This is a forced swap onto Fi.
He has to go in for the Daredevil to try to check Crazy Kitty out in his position. Beer back is going to be broken, so it means that VIRTUS.PRO's supports anybody that can come back into the fight after they go down can actually regain control, but overtime has to be pushed all the way to the end for VP if they want to take a 2-0 in this BO5.
I think we're going for a tie game.
Crazy Kitty is going absolutely mental right now. Vertigo's off the
Wait.
map.
Wait, chat? What's my
go,
Luna doing? My Luna... Vertigo felt so bad for VIRTUS.PRO, he jumped off the map to try to make it a 5v6 when they still won. Nah, bro. Ain't no way, dude. Ain't no way. Nah.
Maybe some punishment can be found as the magnetic greatsword is drawn from its scabbard, but Nevix has had to come in on the emergency venom. Spark around the outside. You know that he's been noted. A forced movement coming through off the back of the Apex Predator.
This has to be fat, right? Take them all off the map. Take them all off the map. Take them all off the map.
Previously, and they are going to have even more when it comes to the healing.
Did the Groot just dodge that ult by going in his bubble? Oh my.
Flies letting the devil out, but he's nowhere to be seen, and that's 1-1 between our EMEA Titans.
And Vertigo fell off the map at the end again, so it made it 2 for 2.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yo, hey, we got ourselves a game.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that have not maybe been watching EMEA as much.
We got ourselves a game, chat. It's not a roll. It's a 1-1.
Compete against them. Spider Islands went as expected. A Ducky MVP, and I loved at the end there. You saw the Glortrox coming in from Sparker, just using the Jeff team up. The Duck Dip dived just to make sure that he couldn't get anything. He got a point. And then now VIRTUS.PRO have to
VIRTUS.PRO is throwing? I don't think VIRTUS.PRO is throwing, chat. I just think...
choice, we're not sure where they're going to necessarily go. We saw the Araco.
They're just not playing as good as they could be, and also RAD is a really good team. You can't say RAD's not a good team. RAD is a really good team. They've been fun to watch.
Like, they let go of the Gambit to get the Invisible Woman, and I didn't see any particular, like, compositional magic where the Invisible Woman was getting a huge amount of value, right?
And that was right at the end as well. It was like the last ban and last protect of the Gambit, so it wasn't even early on. Like, Magneto's clearly important for both of these sides, and stuff like the Adam, the Loki, making sure the convoy doesn't get too out of hand. But for VIRTUS.PRO, you need to now show that you sort of own some of these maps, right? The bigger teams like Team Liquid Citadel have a lot of maps in their back pocket, as we saw with Yggdrasil, where they just look like worlds above a lot of the other teams. For VIRTUS.PRO, you now need to find that on Convergence, which these guys are so experienced for hero shooters. Playing around a payload or taking a point is key to them, but RAD are matching them.
Yeah, RAD are matching them blow for blow, and well, our analysis is going to be blown out of the water by these smart fellas on the analyst desk.
Blown out of the water indeed, like Jay. I mean, hey, listen, the good news is both teams are in familiar territory. I mean, VP has given up a map. RAD is certainly comfortable. If anything, they're like off pace because typically they're coming back even later than they are now. Right now, the series is tied between these two EMEA giants. And right off the bat, Ship, I've got to say, I said it was going to be the Vanguards for RAD that would impress me, and I feel like that has been a huge difference maker.
11 finals on the Ducky group. I mean, and some really clean play across the board. They're just leading the charge, doing exactly what they need to. I love the mag play across the board, like you're saying, buddy. I am with you. They are outshining right now.
I like how they're showing highlights, and the highlight of that Maggle was nothing. He just whiffed because the other guy jumped in the sky. I guess it was a highlight for the Rocket.
Great job, but on the other foot, Sparker, the least amount of finals we've seen in quite some time, only 5 to their name.
That's a highlight, bro. That's a highlight.
You know, MVP we saw from the grand finals, from the high highs now to low lows.
Yeah,
you know I mean, I agree. And also, we talked about the X factor of Crazy Kitty. We got some craziness. We got some, for sure, not as much kiddiness as we want to see this time around. But either way, yeah, it just feels like, again, we've highlighted this before with RAD. VIRTUS.PRO is known as being a patient team. I think that's what's made them great. But RAD has shown that throughout. And it's like they're aggressive, but also somehow it's like a toddler with a rage, but somehow has, you know, great
a toddler with some rage.
I mean, the one thing I'm kind of there's a couple things I want to mention. I don't know that I prioritize the Invis over the Luna right now. I think that's a mistake. For one, and then also in VIRTUS.PRO's favor, I think they're just really clutch, and I think that's why they keep pushing this series even farther. I think that game was dominated by RAD, truthfully, but they just always
in a long series. I feel like every map would be close like this one. So far, pretty good.
I think that's their main strength. They just never give up. But
for me, Vaughn, I
want to see how Vertical fell off the map.
The only thing that I would like to see maybe cleaned up a bit more is that backline. We saw.
I want to see how Vertical fell off the map, and we can't.
Juba 3. It's something we might start to see a little bit more. RAD showed it against Iconics, right? That they wanted to show and maybe test, if you will, at Jubilee to see how it went, and it was showing all right.
It's decent for the first point hold, like we saw there in that triple strategist lineup. But aside from that, we really haven't seen too much out of the Jubilee specifically. Like team-ups wise, what are people rocking here as well, Shiv?
Well, for Jubilee, what I will say, one thing I just want to mention real quick, is I do like the blind. I think the blind is huge in the damage boost. It's the new cloak, right? So that's why you're running that for the most part. But team-ups across the board, you mean for the backline or for Jubilee?
Yeah, for Jubilee.
For Jubilee, it's Hood is what I've typically run. I mean, you're just going constant hit scan damage. You can kind of play, you know, like I said, that cloak format, but instead of having to switch to the damage front, you can just hit scan heavy in the backline and rotate consistently to make sure it's always up.
Vertigo falling off the map?
Can we just talk about MASH? I mean, MASH is, obviously a little casual Friday there on stage. The jersey's still making its way here. But Vaughn,
10 finals
MASH,
for the support.
Am I seeing this? The finals, I mean, are we joking?
We are not joking on that one, but we're also not joking here for Smashnez versus Spark.
This is the lineup.
This is the average we have seen from this map specifically as well, and seeing actually no, this is the exact stats from this match. Excuse me, 34 finals to 34 KOs to 17. Just the effectiveness, the damage is very similar. But you were talking about the ship during the break. It feels like Sparker's just shooting tanks.
Yeah, a lot of damage there, but I mean it's also a testament to the
sounds like Sparker is just shooting
very similar, right? So if you see a ton of damage and not a lot of finals, it means the tanks are doing their job. They're getting out after soaking all the damage, and it's not necessarily on the strats back because the numbers don't justify that.
No, that's a great point, especially, I mean, you see all your favorite Star-Lord players have crazy damage, not their final hits, just farming from the front. You know what's interesting is obviously that is a matchup between Smash and Sparker, rookie versus vet, but that might be on land, but Smash has said 8 years he's been doing this, right? And now finally has had that chance to shine on this stage like this for Rivals. That's a big matchup. We continue to highlight how important, obviously most important role, in my opinion, a lot of the times is that flex duelist position. But when you have the hit scan v hit scan, the 1A versus 1A, Ship, we've seen time and time again that it's those measurements up of this pressure in the first early picks.
Yeah, it's all about coming up in clutch moments too. And you know, a lot of the time Sparker is that guy. Just right now in this matchup wasn't able to do that. Talk about the Dom too with me, but
Yes,
yeah,
oh my gosh. So this is the first time, at least during this event, we have seen the Dom map won by VIRTUS.PRO. So they finally got that off their backs. They say, hey,
Sparker
we
fell
can actually
off.
win
Sparker
again on
did not fall
domination.
off,
We
chat.
used to
You
be
guys
the
are
most
on drugs
winning
if you
this
think
team
Sparker fell
on
off.
Dom. Now it's Team Liquid Citadel, as we've seen, what, 26-0 at that point.
Crazy.
But I think the big question mark for me for this VIRTUS.PRO roster right now is Fi. We haven't seen as much effectiveness from them recently.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if you look at this, obviously this is why best of 5 is going to be even better, because when you get the early tie in the series, we're going to go back to Dom, obviously being a big point in factor in that. When you look at the pick and bans, VOD, and what you expect to see here moving forward, as we do get the infamous location of Wakanda. We were just joking the other day that that first point used to be so like iconic, and now it's like, all right, okay, it's kind of just point 3 now, VOD.
Yeah, I mean, seeing, you know, VIRTUS.PRO going to a map where a lot of people were thinking they'd have some good records against them here as well, but we've seen them play pretty decently.
Sparker
on
fell
All
off like
Jalia
J3's
before.
hair.
And
Yo,
again,
where's my
I think it
mods
benefits
at,
the
bro?
compositions that they like to play with the Penny Ultron.
Can
saw
we-
that
can we
first
get some
point
bans
for
going?
a lot of teams. And one thing I did want to
What
bring
the
up,
hell?
which we've seen with this map and a lot of different ones, is like first point now on these convoy or these convergence maps.
Sparker,
is taken
chat,
pretty quickly for the most
Sparker
part.
did not
and you
fall
know, we're
off,
saying
bro.
sometimes even on like even Convoy, right? It's like the first point is a battle, second point seems to just be a breeze every time because the teams are coming back on defense, burning all these cooldowns. The attacking side then wins the trade at the end, cleans up those KOs, gets 20% ult advantage, wins the next fight, right on to point 3.
I mean, you could almost say the same
The
about
mods
winning
are probably
matches
in
as
on
well.
jokes.
I mean, it's
I need
like
new
starting
mods.
to believe, right? And as soon as you get that
Yeah,
first
Team
one under
Liquid
your belt,
Citadel
it's like,
did
okay,
win,
let's
chat.
just
If
go
you guys
finish
wanna
this
look at the
thing
bracket,
strong. And
exclamation
for
mark
me, I mean,
MRI.
VP, they're the standard. They're the one that everyone has circled. The pressure on them, I can't imagine. They handle it well typically, but we'll see now when things get closer for that door to shut. Will they be able to handle it, folks? We've got the ban ready to go. We sponsor this by Mantis, who's always that first ban. It's gonna happen. We're gonna be seeing none of that 0% play rate, but Gambit being that first lock once again for the backline of VP VOD.
Yeah, they like to focus on that Gambit. The one time we saw, you know, Museum of Contemplation, they went for the Loki save, and that was kind of iffy. But the big thing
Yeah,
here
Team
is
Liquid
that they
Citadel
played
doesn't
this
play
map as a counter pick
today
from
as
Gen
well,
G and
chat.
still got a
After their last
2-0
game,
victory
they play tomorrow.
against them.
They're in the upper
So
bracket.
No longer are they going to have any stipulations against this map. It seems to be their domain now.
There's conversation for where Widow can come into the ban
Team
phase here,
Liquid
too.
Citadel
What
plays
happened with
Na'Vi
Widow?
tomorrow as a first
What's
game.
going on
Talking
today?
about that early on, we were
Yeah.
saying, hey, Matt, first day, we're like,
She's
it's
looked
here,
so good.
Widow, what year
Yeah.
it is, and then has kind of backed away a bit. You know, it's interesting. This would be one of the stronger maps to be able to take it to. Again, we're going to all of the Jalia, not Spider Island there. And when you look at the bans in general, I feels like the pressure you get, but man, Smash.
It's
wasn't able to
looking
play
like
this
the
level of,
same
let's say,
bans and the
Delena
same
in the
saves,
play-in
too.
stage. Maybe it's just not enough time on that comfortable rework.
Yeah, that could be the case for sure. But now that we see the removal of Mag, that conversation comes back into play.
I mean, after seeing that triple Meteor M from Lugia code on third point, I mean, I understand why VIRTUS.PRO do not want to deal with that this time.
No, it's a great point either way. I mean, you've seen a lot of the meta strong stuff happen, right? No one-sided mag, the Gambit not squeaking through late. This is the stuff you expect. And we kind of talked about it. The more this kind of leans towards the end, you got to pull off all the stops. You got to show everything and not show your old heads, you're new, you're fresh, you have something ready. It's important to play your best, but keep a couple cards close to your chest, Shib, as we're wrapping up the pick ban. It's Penny Ultron.
Yeah, I mean, that's just been the new thing. It's almost like a chess piece moving forward. You've got to react.
I
It's gotta
wonder
be a
if the
removal of Penny
production
here.
people,
It has
like
to
right
be right
here
back.
and
Okay,
like
well,
right here,
I guess not, as we're gonna
I
see
wonder
the
if these
Adam
people actually
removal.
know about this
But,
game,
you
or
know,
are
if
they
you
just
get
standing
Ultron
here
on the
and
lot
like,
phase, it seems,
obviously
or
it's
has
their
been in the
job,
past,
but
you wanna
like,
remove that Penny, but instead.
Well,
I wonder if they
will
actually
we
know the
have
game
VIRTUS.PRO
or understand the
put
game or
on the
understand
ropes
what's going
for
on.
RAD go down in the series like day. Ryan, let's get to it.
And this is a map that VIRTUS.PRO have to deal with therapy. There's trauma on it from a team like RAD, but at least last time that these two teams played in the sort of group stages, I believe, for stage 1, it was VIRTUS.PRO that actually were able to beat RAD the last time. Even though this has been a choice for RAD consistently this event, the results aren't amazing for them. 2-4 total, and we've only seen VIRTUS.PRO play on this map 3 times, one of which was against Gen G, where they look to be the stronger team. And really
Are coaches
command that
allowed to
series,
stand
continuing on
with
in the upper
players?
bracket.
Yeah, you
I
can tell
mean,
that VIRTUS.PRO after losing a lot
the
of very
coaches are
important
standing
games
behind the
on
players.
this map
I don't know
have
what you
been
mean with that
maybe
question.
leaning towards it in their scrim schedules a little bit and making sure that they are an incredibly proficient team on this. But this should be an absolute slobber knocker because RAD, they prefer to go to this map quite often.
Yeah, I think the big thing to highlight is that MASH, with the one-sided Gambit, only got eliminated twice in all of Spider Islands. But when we did see this head-to-head of the Gambit against Saipe had some cleaner, bigger ultimates. So we'll see if Mash can sort of make sure that he keeps
I think the
up
coaches are
with his
behind the
counterparty
players
at
during the
start.
matches, chat, but I think the players,
Sacrifice cooking.
they just can't talk to the players.
Deep into the fray. I mean, we saw it yesterday against Genji as well, sort of going from the same position, just being able to take the high ground, force and sort of make the side split, if you will.
Faisal over now to the Daredevil, so they can have a pincer maneuver here in our first Vanguard ball of the tournament, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, for Finzi, it's one of these moments a lot of the Vanguards were taking out Mank.
Correct, coaches can't talk. There you go. This is Mom coming in here with the facts, bro. That's what I like to see.
Just allowing Finzi to build up the band hammer and skill issue if he wants.
He's got a ramp to work with here as well, so we can freely transition between high and low ground. But Vertigo going down already. Might have to invest their Cocoon Revival here off the back of being headshot by Valuna. Saipe actually messes up their team up there, and so he's going to have a little bit more trouble peeling for themselves. But Ducky's gone high, but will he be laying low? Even more anti-heal. Finzi needs to be rescued. All surviving by the skin of his teeth, but that regrows real quickly when you're Deadpool.
Especially when it was like Nevix went down, it's meant really that Ducky was able to sort of survive and he's able to just perch up on the top of the high ground, but he's fallen in and just dunked on Saipe.
Finzi still believes it to be winnable. He's going to send him a ban hammer, admittedly not so much of a waste when you are on the Deadpool. That does generate rather quickly, but VIRTUS.PRO have like such little space control right now. They are split 3 and 2, but they're waiting for Saipe to come back, and this means that Mash is going to have an opportunity to outpace that ultimate when it comes to the Gambit generation.
It is a messy fight, but RAD are going to be able to take it, show everybody's in positions that they probably weren't expected to be in, but they managed to stall almost all of the time. Ducky even looking to sort of use the Strangling Prison to find out these players for VIRTUS.PRO that are trying to disengage all the way to second. They're so out of position, VIRTUS.PRO completely split.
Nevix is left.
Bro, VIRTUS.PRO, what we doing here, bro?
Wait, Dridger won. Oh, Dridger won! Saipe might rescue him from the back. Can he deliver the Raging Royal flush in time? No, Dridger's already fallen on down, but Nevix has used the opening to get rid of Crazy Kitty.
Bro, what is
Out
VIRTUS.PRO?
comes the Soul Link from the side of RAD so they can spread out the damage. And instead of fighting, they're just going to give up the position on the point and wait out this ultimate.
I mean, it's now going to be 2/3 actually ticked up in the end for RAD. They have to try and jump onto the objective. Mash is going to bring out the Royal Flush as Saipe's used his earlier, and Finzi's the first to at least go down off the back of it, and RAD holding on when it's about 80% made up for VP.
2 ticks to their name, Dridro, the fate of both worlds for the next fight. It's going to be a duel, though, between the Glatroxes.
I mean, it's just a crazy engagement, right? We said, okay, yeah, Dridro, we'll see you later. Hold on. It's almost just like
he did what?
Meanwhile, whilst this other like Avengers,
What are the coach's headset connected to? I have no idea, chat. Probably a computer. You guys are asking me way too many technical technical things, man. I barely know how to turn on my own computer.
Just chaotic right now.
His strategy? Take Mash's head off, it would appear. Crazy Kitty, in this tiny area, is going to have an absolute layup for a Rage of Ultron, but not even going to need it. Matt Finzi already taken on down. Feast of the Abyss, not getting much for Nevix, and in comes the Glatrox. Sparker doesn't appear to have gotten too active in the feed of vanquishings thus far, and so Crazy Kitty can just hold on to the Rage of Ultron for when it's desperately needed for triage.
It's just that one pick for VIRTUS.PRO, now trying to get into position, less than a minute left. They're not at least playing for a draw, but they really need to actually get this first point against a team like RAD, otherwise it's going to be a nightmare.
Oh, that's a... Ooh, but he's by himself, I think.
Just about trying to get out.
Nice kite by VIRTUS.PRO, but even if he got people, he had no one that could help him. I feel like that was a throw of an ult.
As the Apex Predator and
even if he got people like hypnotized, no one could follow up on that.
Which is maybe one of the things that consistently goes wrong with RAD. He's out of position, and now suddenly RAD are a player down. Vertigo having a camera revival. He's going to use it now.
The last second was waiting as long as possible to bring that one up. Vertigo falling low. Sparker's got a fantastic angle here on the Black Widow, and Vertigo's ready for. What is Mash doing over there, bro? What is my Gambit doing? Vertigo brings them back. Fi begins to dance. A dance of a butterflies is going to start extracting the blood from RAD as they just survived this off the back of the Rage of Ultron. Lugiago anchors the car in the corner, keeping this one going. Smash those down again as Sparker's angle continues to just brutalize them. The Rage of Ultron is instantly stopped. Anger management delivered via.
At least they capped, but damn.
Finzi with a Psionic Seduction.
Mash!
Shots going, but Mash is still somehow involved in the
Sparker.
fight. I mean, the point is gone.
We can't lose that.
VIRTUS.PRO just
not my Sparker goat.
Vertigo had no idea where he was when he went down.
No way, bro.
They take a slope of the silly juice, you know, but like, we're winning more. It's like, wait, what?
With so many teams as well, like in all of the chaos, Sparker has the freedom, and Ducky decides that now is the time to go in. RAD have found the W key, and they're pressing it consistently.
Oh man, Ducky just solo grabbing the Emma there, who just pops for down and says, all right, cheers, I'm out, baby.
He's still finding a little bit more. VIRTUS.PRO, Feasting the Abyss has to be dedicated from Nevix, and suddenly again we're just in an absolute brawl on the streets of Jalia, I guess it would be. But RAD down numbers, want to try and maybe get out.
Sparker going for the newfangled meta. The Black Widow reigning
I
over
do
these
like Sparker on
streets,
the Black Widow, though. I don't know why, to be honest with you, I don't know why Sparker doesn't do the Elsa, but chat, is Fi not a good aimer? Fi can't play Black Widow?
Absolute vigor.
Or have Sparker play the Black Widow and then Fi play Elsa? Elsa's not banned.
On the way for Lugia, and the strategists are sort of building up, but they moved over to the 2-2-2. Crazy Kitty's over on the Daredevil.
Oh, touching here might be a tall order. 59 centimeters in it for now. Mashdown's going to bring everyone forward with the Raging Royal Flush. What value can be found? The second that it finishes, Fincy's been counting them out as Crazy Kitty moves towards the back. A quick Sonic pursuit wants the strategist so bad, but the healing is overwhelming. But while they look towards each other, it's the front line that are the victims. Nevix and Fincy could not receive any healing, and Fi is so
yeah,
far
I don't
back.
know how I feel
Smash
about the
is only an
Psylocke.
easy 1v1.
Especially on this map, Black Widow is really good on this map. It has long sight lines, and she can do a lot of damage and very consistent damage.
Sort of gets to body check Fi a little bit, who had that freedom over on Krakoa to just sort of find a backline, but they also need to close the distance from Sparker. If he has freedom, he will absolutely dominate this lobby.
Assassin's Focus, good to go. Smashness had to give up the angle. Look at that anti coming through from side. Oh, Lugia! Just going to have to try and Carbon Crush away. Just about has the hops and the motion to get away from the assailants.
Crazy Kitty has his target locked in at the very least. The Smashness wants to go in with the Apex Predator, forced back in the end as Sparker's trying to bring out the Black Widow ultimate, looking for a target to just pop their heads around the corner.
4 bullets, 1 aim, trying to break on through. Mash headshot in the back, but the healing is too fast.
Oh my god.
But it's an easy cleanse.
They solo ulted the Widow on the high ground. No way, bro.
Smashness disengages as the healing's overwhelming. Dredro drags them all forward, but Nevix needs to get access to the Feast of the Abyss. Crazy Kitty from the outside, shifting on through. It's a good shift in, and Fincy's been shifted to a different gear. Surely it's got to be a TB back here from Fi, but who can stay on the point? Fi finally debarks, but he's up against the corner. There's nowhere to go. Surrounded by foes, surrounded by blue, and he's drowning in the ocean of RAD. Finally, Sparker.
Wait, why did I? We just saw Sparker fly across the screen and just get a kill. What the hell? Wow, now VIRTUS.PRO's an overtime team, chat.
Somehow managed to cast a spell. His wizardry.
VIRTUS.PRO is a overtime team, dude.
Miraculously summoned for VIRTUS.PRO.
All part of the plan for all of these teams. Fi, yeah, just had to dip out, and then suddenly he's back in with a portal, which was at the right time, but maybe the wrong place. Back over towards the Daredevil, away from that Psylocke, so trying to match up for Crazy Kitty. Now going on to the second point, you have all of these hallways to keep an eye on.
Hopefully RAD doesn't throw this like they threw the first map, though.
Hallway. He probably wasn't expecting to find himself on the other side. Mash, though, having the Royal Flush before Saipe, there is a chance and an opportunity for RAD to go aggro on the defense again.
Everyone afflicted here. They know where the Daredevil is, and Mash opted in for the 1v1 there. Seems to have won it against Fi. Spark pulling it down as well means that this offense is now toothless.
This is the best of 5.
Happy to take these fights, a lot of 1v1s from the strategists. They have hands when they need to. And now Smashness again, he's the one that's got these positions, full instinct, but wants to make sure that he's got these angles locked in. Otherwise, Sparker's going to start to pull apart this defense from RAD and have players on the backline isolated. Mash needs to keep himself alive and fighting, certainly when there's a one-sided Royal Flush on the other side, almost up for VIRTUS.PRO with 20 seconds left.
Lugia go with an ult to play with, and Nevix can't bring up walls in its way as the Groot has been dropped away on the other side. Ducky feeling the same thing here as Nevix moves on forward. Up come the walls to try and give over some of that covering fire, but Ducky gets
Sparker!
And Mash was taken down in the back. He's not going to be able to get over this one very quickly, and Lugia goes sentience is crushed under Fincy's brain power.
It's the right target, good ultimates to combine. It just means that Black Widow can get more out with the Sonic Seduction.
Yeah, but I think RAD wins this next fight, chat. There's no way RAD loses. If RAD loses with 5 ults,
RAD have been saving their ultimates. It all comes down to this. Lugia go forcibly engaged, looking for a sentient seize, but knows that Nevix can get out with their embattled leap, and so saves it for a blessed.
Just pop ults, guys.
First one coming through, building up that energy.
Before VIRTUS.PRO gets their support ults.
Cleanse for those who were caught within the strangling prison. Smashness has gone down, but Fi traded out on the other side. And Vertigo's got healing aplenty for RAD, as Crazy Kitty's got pain aplenty for the backline of VIRTUS.PRO. Moving towards the back, but Devil's
that's a huge pick. They killed their Luna. Dredro almost had ult. Nah, that's GG's.
And they've ran out of chances.
Well, not GG's, but that's GR.
At the end of Hall of Charlie.
That was a huge
111
pick.
meters right there at the
Also,
end,
I don't know why
VIRTUS.PRO,
Fi
it
didn't
could
pop
have
his
very
ult.
easily been a full hold if they weren't careful. Scrappy this one. We saw a little
I think
bit
he's
more
holding
for
ult
Spider
for next
Islands,
fight.
The ideas, adjustments, going from one composition to the other. But here, it's just two teams that probably dislike each other very much in the server at the very least, just taking chunks out of each other.
Getting VIRTUS.PRO getting deja vu right now though for RAD. They did have issues here, in particular against a Delana Black Widow on third point of Hall of Charlia. And that large room is such a good angle.
That's why Mash has a lot more eliminations against him. Saipe only going down twice. And this is kind of like those games, 11 final hits for Sparker, 5 low on damage. Like we said, he sort of fill in that role to just sort of close in, go on the dives, get final hits, but he's only been able to get 3 in comparison to Crazy Kitty that was mostly playing triple strategist, moved over towards the 2-2-2. Same amount of damage, just a couple more picks in the end. I think you have to really look at the Vanguards as well. Certainly when you have these like high lines playing, it's not like dive, high mobility characters in place. It's just the likes of Brute and Emma. No Magneto available for either
Doesn't
side.
Fi
so
also play
going to be like this head-to-head.
Black Cat?
Pretty much matching up well.
Like I feel like Fi could be doing.
I'd love to see
I don't know,
Crazy Kitty
man.
bring up the
I feel like he
spotlight.
could be doing a
Saw
lot
little bit
more.
jerky. I was a little bit like, are we going to see the defense pull on the
Like I
defense?
said, chat, I think Fi,
This
he
might
could
be a
play the
scout.
Daredevil. I think the Daredevil's fine, or the Black Cat, or you could put Fi on
And the remainder of the
Black
team
Widow and then put
might well
Sparker back on the
want to
Elsa.
see-
I feel like that would be a much better comp. Elsa and Black Widow on this map is a good duo because, like I said, very long sight lines, chat. Very long sight lines.
Nice little hit there from Saipe. I think that Sparker also contributed to that, but based on his ult charge.
And that's brand new day, everybody. That's
that's it. Full spoilers.
yeah. 3 minutes long. But yeah, Sparker, nice to see him on the Black Widow when some of the other like EMEA sort of main hit scan duelists haven't shone as well in some of these cases. Smash Days obviously prefers to be on the Elsa. He's going to be on it in this case. But Sparker wants to keep that distance away from Rad. But somebody has to close it down. And that somebody is Crazy Kitty now on DD.
Yeah, Crazy Kitty's going to be able to come in through the window here. Oh, Trader's actually fallen down onto the low ground as well, which could be critical. He's going to give a little bit less in terms of options for an escape. Rad have already posted up on the point. Trader has fallen down. Crazy Kitty found them on that low ground where they could not be peeled for, but they are going to be punished for such an audacious maneuver. Now, all the healing has to come from Saipe. Everyone has to share out the cards of Gambit and share out the power. It is going to be rewarded with a very quick return to the ultimate, though, as Shreedra prepares a portal for a re-engage.
These have been so good in the end for VIRTUS.PRO, but it has to be great as it's Shreedra now is trying to stop in. He gets frozen. You see the team up as well that's coming in from the Gambit to just
Wow,
create some
5
space.
minutes from
It's
Rad.
not enough. It's another fast take for Rad with 5 minutes to push onto second.
Good shit
Slapping
by
onto
Rad,
Shade
bro.
KD.
Rad's doing really
Switch
well.
your drip with the
I'm
ball
very
levels.
happy
I'm
with
outta
how
here,
Rad's
bro.
performing.
See you later, homies.
It was an uh-oh moment, but there's been a few of those. Shaky for VIRTUS.PRO this year. World champions not quite looking like in that form, but Rad, a dark horse for this event. Valk said might be potentially playing him later if they win up against Gen G. Ducky's found himself a nice pick on the Finzi, which staggers the
I
defense.
am very
wall.
surprised how well Rad is playing, but if Rad does win, they fuck up my predictions.
A 5 versus 6. Mash is happy to answer. Ducky falls so low, but shuts it down with the strangling prison. Farewell to 5. Farewell to Nevix. Deforestation going in favor of Rad.
And it was just because both of those ultimates were available. They matched up nicely. Rad over dedicating a little bit more, but you'll do that when you've got everybody on the objective and you force VIRTUS.PRO back. They don't have many strategist ultimates now, hoping for a big pick for Nevix with the ult.
All right, riding the Radical Highway towards the end of second. No one can break the walls. They tried to break the walls down, and Nevik can barely even escape here. Trying to cook up a re-engagement. Up come even more walls, floating towards them in a bubble. So many CCs have gone Nevik's way. The most controlled man in
chat,
history.
GG's.
Lugia is going to surely go down for their
It's not even close, bro. 5.5
Looking a
minutes,
little bit
chat.
nervous, though, for
Why
VIRTUS.PRO.
can't
5
Fi
minutes to
be
hold
doing
on
this?
second. We've seen some
Cra-
crazy holds.
Crazy
in the
Kitty.
end, but maybe
Fi
not
needs
to
to be
this
doing what
level.
Crazy Kitty's doing
VIRTUS.PRO
here.
just being completely caught out, and you have to say with Ducky playing well, the group walls are superb. Isolated targets and no Magneto on either side means that there's no bulwarks to make sure that people can get out of these situations. They get punished for them instead.
All right, going in onto the Groot, not the ideal target here for a Daredevil. Fi doesn't quite know where to go, instead going to go up against their counterpart. Crazy Kitty just has to try and flee away inside of the strangling prison.
No kills though.
Everyone
Wow.
shares out the healing. It's a perfect ultimate here from Vertigo. Just
that was a fat
making
ult,
sure
bro.
the dance floor sustains the remainder of the team.
just pot shots now. Smashers just trying to make sure that this objective is moving. If anybody oversteps for VIRTUS.PRO and Apex Predator, is going to catch.
Barker takes the angle, has the bullets to work.
Oh!
Crazy Kitty midway through. Extra damage.
Oh!
It's all that you need when you want a hero for VIRTUS.PRO. I will show you, Sparker.
How does he find these sort of moments? He can't even line up the targets because he's turning around to deal with them. The sense of
Someone
space that he
help
has, knowing
this
where
man.
everybody is. It helps when
Help
you're
him.
making the calls on where exactly these targets are. But it's just setting him up to knock him
Ooh,
down.
Smash
VIRTUS.PRO
Nez is trying
holding
to
on when Rad
to
certainly
combo,
look like
or
they're
sorry, to
gonna maybe
mirror the
strike
Black
the
Widow,
def-
chat.
strike.
My goodness, perfect information for both Black Widows. The question is, who will have the perfect aim to back it up? Smashner is going to be behind when it comes to ult generation here, but slowing down Sparker is going to send them scurrying into cover. Needs the pocket to be delivered. A big battle blitz towards the back. Ducky says, I'm going after number one. What a cleanse coming through. Quick-witted Saipe behind them there, using the Royal Flush to bring the remainder of VIRTUS.PRO forward. Crazy Kitty postulates him the back, but knows that they can't escape this one.
It was Ducky going for the play that Team Liquid Citadel used against them yesterday, knowing that this sort of these positions that the hit scans want to set up on right at the far back, where Sparker's basically
J3
going
realizing
now.
he's about to get his
Put the group
first
there,
prediction
Strangle Prison,
wrong.
catch
I'm
him
not
in
getting my
position, but
chat.
you've got too many cleanses, both
I
with
am
the
not
and
getting
the
my
Gambit on the
prediction
other side.
wrong, bro.
It meant that there was very little that Ducky could
If
get
I
off the
get a
back of it.
prediction wrong, I'm
That
not
was
going to be
Nevix's
J3 the Oracle. I need to continue my 100%. Also, I believe that VIRTUS.PRO holds this for 3 minutes. Watch. I have $1 trillion
The chaos now for
on
Rad.
VIRTUS.PRO
They're trying
full
to play
holding this.
front
Watch.
to back, seeing if they can let Crazy Kitty slip in, but now Nevix trying to go in for these walls to separate the sight lines. He's actually going to go very low down and can't really get into the choke because of the stuff thrown out from the Gambits.
He's got a good position though. The crunch needs to be here and now. Nevix looking for an opening, but
watch,
right now all he
watch.
sees are Vanguards. That's a lot of piercing power from the bullets. Lugia goes low. Needs someone else to break the wall. And a smart disengage here from Rad just gets Fi off the angle, and it's going to kite out this ultimate from Sparker.
It's doing so much damage now. Mash is trying to go in and put this one
I
to
don't
bed.
really think
Potentially
that got a lot of
with
value.
The wall means now we're not going to take this fight. VIRTUS.PRO try and disengage as much as they can.
All right, Smash just tried to take the off angle as well. Assassin's Focus in the back corner if they are going to need it. Out come the bullets, and down goes the Fincy. Ducky's going to be the one.
Oh!
Collapse on both the duelists. It's
Who said they were going to hold, bro? Chat, stop talking. You're jinxing my game, dude.
The wheel of Rad taking the lead in the series.
Over in a whisper for Rad right
They
there
had
at the
2
end.
minutes
Smash this.
remaining,
We sort
too.
of pointed out in some of those games against Delaney from 100 Thieves, the Black Widow head-to-head wasn't matching. There, Sparker was looking like he was getting into form, but Smash Des just puts it to bed quietly. A pure assassin style. He's going to get the MVP for this one as well. And suddenly, VIRTUS.PRO world champions looking to be eliminated from mid-season finals in this losers bracket if they lose one more map.
Rad, from Marvel Rivals Championships, from MRC to the big stage to Los Angeles, California. They can tread the royal road here, but they need to get past the old
VIRTUS.PRO hasn't shown up all day. No, I don't want to say VIRTUS.PRO hasn't. Some players, I think, are.
There's so much left up. We sort of pointed out the like Saipe there.
I feel like some players didn't go to bed last night, and you know they're probably having a little fatigue.
But Rad on this map,
but
it was VIRTUS.PRO's map choice. And it looked like Rad's,
it's
right?
not
But just
looking
how
good,
quickly
man.
they sort of take the attacking rounds, how the first defense was almost a full hold. And yeah, sure, it was good towards the end
It's
for
not
the
looking
defense
good, bro.
VIRTUS.PRO, but he had to hold for 5.5 minutes. You can't let that happen at an international event. You can't be pushed that hard on your map choice. It's these kind of moments that make me really nervous for VIRTUS.PRO, but they're world champions. These are some of the most experienced, tenured players. They don't feel pressure. It's for tires. It's not for them. But against the name of Rad that took the first series against VIRTUS.PRO in their history, that eliminated VIRTUS.PRO for the first time in their history from pre-season, might be eliminating them for the first time from an international event. It's always Rad. It's always them.
Well, pressure might be for tires, Ryan. But right now, Rad is saying, you look tired, old man. Why don't you step aside and let some new young talent take over? You can rest now. You've done your job.
Both are Apex Predators, right? You got the Bears of VIRTUS.PRO, but Wolves of RAD are looking a little bit more hungry, a little bit more strong, and a little bit more comfortable as we potentially go into what could be a big map for VP.
Yeah, Smashnez, I want to call them out as well for having a fantastic Black Widow here too. Like the biggest problem, it felt like on day one going up against 100 Thieves was that Delana was outperforming Smashnez on this map in particular. on the Black Widow. But Smashnes, I don't know how they've turned it around so quickly, but they bloody well have.
I think it's also like the right changes there. I really like the Black Widow coming out from Spark. It looks fantastic, but it's the common complaint. It's good changes for VIRTUS.PRO, just slow, just late. Whereas RAD are like Smashnes, okay, immediately sort of goes onto the Black Widow and finds that. It's just enough. It's just enough of a change.
I just realized something.
Even though RAD and VP are making sort of similar changes with compositions, right, going for 2-2-2, it's RAD that's making them a lot faster, a lot snappier, and VIRTUS.PRO are just lagging behind a little bit with some of the composition changes. You're not really going to change much with the front line, but Lugia going towards the Thing to just add a little bit more oomph and like pushing power makes the difference, where VIRTUS.PRO aren't changing too much with the composition outside of, you know, the likes of Sparker going over towards Black Widow and Phi, Psylocke to Daredevil, just those small incremental changes. You're not changing the backline, though, of the Gambit Luna, so it has to come from somewhere else.
Yeah, but changeable the Thing allowed for RAD to reorient their whole composition
I just think RAD might be the
this
stronger team here,
consistent
actually.
healing
I don't know,
pressure
man.
against Phi. I mean,
'Cause look at it, though. Look at it. Sparker went 30-7. Sparker is like popping off, bro. He has 17 final hits. The second person on his team is Finzi at 9. His second DPS? Is 19-10 with 5 finals, bro. Look at the other team, though, for an example. This team is more, like, together. It's more, what do you call it? Like, it's more close together. He has 15 finals. His second DPS has 10 finals. He's doing a great job. But, like, even their tanks, 8 finals, 7 finals, like, even their support, 6 finals.
they could never really.
Yeah, this team is playing much better as a team. This team is just getting carried by one person.
I'm very curious on where VIRTUS.PRO want to take us again now. The map pool has opened up because it is a best of 5, so it means that domination is available. And I'm seeing the hover over Celestial Husk, but this is also the map that we saw RAD eliminate VIRTUS.PRO right at the end. It was chaotic. It was VIRTUS.PRO looking unlike themselves. So if that is the choice, it's a brave one to go to domination because it can be very just coin flippy, right? But it does.
Where can I see the bracket? Exclamation mark MRI.
Game modes that VIRTUS.PRO look like the best team in the world because just playing around payloads, playing around objectives instead of a King in a Hill style suited them. But that's what they're choosing now, to go for these control maps.
Well, I mean, if we think about how so many of the RAD members were previously on that team chopped, they missed out on
Grand finals, yeah.
By a Celestial Husk.
They got their revenge, but this is a whole different space. And you have to say with, like, the coach coming in for RAD, like, how much of a difference that's made to just keep them focused. But even, like, speaking to, like, Mash and Ducky on the way here, you maybe think that there's going to be a little bit of nerves in, but they're like, we're sort of ready for this. We know.
Yo. The score is 2-1 right now.
They've been on the stage.
Saipei is way better than Mash. Mash is a really good player, man.
Probably will go the distance.
Mash is a really good player, chat. You guys are sleeping on Mash.
Most games played, RAD are getting those land jitters out of the way real quick by force.
Yes, first to 3. So first, whoever wins 3 wins. So if RAD wins this, RAD wins 3-1. But if VIRTUS.PRO wins it, it's 2-2. They go to another map.
Like grand finals, like it's what the whole total prize pool of last year, similar to this year, $3 million total, right? Like they got the bare share of it, and so they took a little bit of time. They didn't play any MRC that was happening around the holidays. Took it as a chance to really get some rest and respite. You could say that they were a little bit late to the meta, but it didn't look too bad when it came to preseason. But it's every time that we see them playing this kind of like.
When are we seeing J3 at LAN? When they invite me.
Some teams, certainly when they're called RAD,
they invited streamers to China,
here,
but
with all of the changes with team ups, it looks a little bit more open. You can't even. I don't know if it's too.
Some people ruin
I feel like it's just individual moments.
Our chances to go back to lane.
RAD rising to the occasion and VIRTUS.PRO falling off completely.
Well, they're not dead yet. We'll see if they fall off entirely as they have one last chance to take themselves to map number 5. We are in the lower bracket, ladies and gentlemen. The reigning world champions stand on the precipice of doom, and they must shuffle through the desolated wasteland that RAD have erected before them.
So far, the draft is looking very similar to what we just saw.
Oh shit, we're jumping straight into the last game, chat. Damn.
We saw right at the start, right? Because we saw RAD going for the Ultron here. They just want to make sure that they get that Gambit. Don't leave it too one-sided in the end. And even then, you can see VIRTUS.PRO.
Well, last game if RAD wins, my bad.
Wasn't even banned out in the end.
I don't know,
they
man.
Just wanted to make sure that Saipei had it. He has it here again. The first phase, exactly the same.
No
This is where
faith in
these
Virtus.Pro. I
opportunities
have
of the map
Virtus.Pro
being
winning this in my
domination,
bracket, chat,
just how
but
this series is
I don't
going.
know. Maybe
Magneto needs to go, but I think that benefited Rad more than it certainly
maybe
did.
Virtus.Pro is
Like, being able to
they're
move
losing
away from
steam.
the
I mean,
match,
Virtus.Pro
let
is a
Ducky
very
have
old
that
team, chat. So
group
it is
matchup,
4:35 on the
honestly
East Coast.
is always
It's probably
happy
their
to take.
bedtime.
Ducky's been one of our
It's time to
most,
drink some prune juice and take a nap.
ardent Brute enjoyers in EMEA for the last 2 years. Essentially, he's like the EMEA equivalent of Vinny. You know, Vinny loves his Groot, and Ducky loves his Groot.
Ultron is being protected, and it was the Penny that was banned out before, so Ultron is actually going to be protected. So Virtus.Pro, are they going to start to show a little bit more of the triple strategist themselves? Adam. So this is an interesting start. Virtus.Pro in Ignite have never lost a match, like in this case, where the draft has been exactly the same. When it was like an MRC where they were so dominant, there has to be a slight difference. In moments like this, Virtus.Pro need to show that when the draft is the exact same, when it's pound for pound who are the better players, it's them. Because it's exactly the same.
Ooh, you heard that?
Availability for the likes
You
of
heard
the
that?
main strategists of Mantis, Loki, and Adam, and then the Magneto too.
Well, that's the question, Ryan. Is it the good old days that are coming back? Or is it a bold new era where Rad will feast upon the bear's flesh?
I'm nervous. I have to send one of these guys home. I mean, Rad have certainly had their moments where they might have thought that it could have been them if they didn't sort of get their act together against Rejects. Speaking to them earlier, they were nervous in that game, but feel like they've really come into it. But there's only going to be one team that is scared now, and it is the world champions on the right-hand side for VP.
I would be nervous too, bro. That's crazy, chat. I wouldn't be nervous sitting there playing in front of thousands of people. I would be nervous just because of the fact of I know Jay3 is watching and he's so tall and handsome, right? Can I get it true? Like, that's what makes me nervous.
Might be neither team actually running it off the get-go.
Well, Virtus.Pro have found that a lot of teams have figured it out already, going in with the Storm and the Punisher. Rad are not hedging on the Penny coming out again, though. They are
let's see this.
rolling out on essentially a mirrored composition.
Yeah, it's just the group versus Emma. That's the slight difference in the end, but Nevix wants to go in on the thing, and he's got more than he bargained for. Takes a lot of damage in this early scuffle.
Already a Soul Siphon going over onto Ducky, but it's not really going to be characterized with a lot of damage here from Finzi, who's already fallen down to the low ground. Big claim of a high here from Rad. Have to be careful to move down onto that low ground together. Virtus.Pro actually in quite a split right now, where their Vanguards maybe are going to be isolated from the remainder of the team.
Wait, didn't Virtus.Pro lose this map already?
It just seems to have
They lost
so
it against
many.
another
He's
team, I'm
just
pretty sure.
putting
No,
up
they
a
won.
forest on
They
Clintar,
beat,
seeing if he can bring new life in, but it's Fire that finds that first pick up to Lugia.
They almost beat no, they lost to Navi, actually.
Sometimes you just need that lick more damage, and Matthew Murdoch is there to provide. Ducky has to give away the space here. Doesn't have the healing, especially with Vertigo down. Mashed a little bit too far out as well, and Smashnez is taken to the skies by the Yancey Street Charge. All they can do is watch as they fall one by one.
Holding on, finding that first fight, so there's a little bit of breathing room in the end. Not much to change. I mean, you haven't built up any ultimates. Actually, Ducky is going to go off of the group to see if he can actually make this a full matchup as the Emma Frost is coming out to play for Duck.
All right. The Emma Frost, very good against the Thing. Can put on that consistent damage towards him, as well as only provide one target for a Stone Haymaker to generate that overhealth from.
Mash has got his ultimate first, though, but Cypher's not quite there, so there's the pushing powers. Virtus.Pro are disengaging completely.
Op skip and the jump, and Cypher's ready to counter-strike. Bend but don't break, they thought, but it looks like all of the Vanguards will break under the pressure that Rad have fought.
Hey, what's up, Underleveled? Appreciate it.
Next to fall, and Spark is there as well. The damage is all gone, only the heals remain here, and the strategists, their strategy must be to flee.
It seemed that Virtus.Pro were happy to expect Rad to get the Royal Flush first. They disengaged, wanted to counterattack, but at that point, Nevix and Finzi found more than they bargained for, and suddenly you're in a 4 versus 6 with one
Mash
of the
is cooking on
impactful
Gambit.
ultimates
I
in team
told you,
fights.
dude.
It's flipped
People are
over,
saying Mash is not a good player, bro. Mash is really good.
Smashnez lies in wait, an Apex Predator to try and play with here. The second that road gets extended once again, but every single approach here from Virtus.Pro is covered.
Fight on the high ground, the silent seduction is going to come out from VP first. Finzi was the one that started over on it, and the Thing tries to get away, able to, using up as much terrain and shielding to make sure that nothing else can happen off of it. But Nevix, with the clobbering time, finds the pick and forces out the fate of both worlds.
Moves towards the back, was quick on the peel, but Drudra already pops out the fate of both worlds. The clobbering time stuns two here, and the Glartrox drags them from the clutches of Dredro, but Sparkras plans of his own. Finzi goes down, the Glartrox is slain, and so Smashnez is able to once again take over the lobby. Monster Piercer and dual-barreled shotguns
Oh, you watching?
into the heart of VIRTUS.PRO, and once again they are sent scurrying back to their hidey holes.
And that was
I mean, he's trying everything he can do for his team. He just can't do it all.
RAD actually being the patient ones to sit back and just let these ultimates come in.
Okay, chat, who do you think wins? Vi has his ult or Crazy Kitty? Saipei does not have his Gambit ult just yet, but it's going to be lawyer against lawyer. Which lawyer wins? Both lawyers are marking each other. I love this.
It's the Gambit from Mash. A lot of teams say he shouldn't be able to have it, but he's been having it consistently across the series, other than the only map.
Okay, now both teams have.
So it's a little bit scary.
Who's gonna pop first? Who's gonna pop first? Saipei pops first.
Raging Warrior flash to play with. Finders, there's no consistent knockback coming through from a Gambit. The team was already been used and can let the devil out, but Crazy Kitty's been the one who gets the nat 20 on the initiative, and never took too much damage.
They froze him and killed him. Vi is still alive. Come on, Vi. This is your moment to shine. Come on, Vi. People have been saying that you're throwing lately. Come on. Yes. I mean, he did. Yeah, nice. Dreedro got two picks there.
Back onto his map.
Yeah, VIRTUS.PRO moved first. RAD tried to counter and fight that one themselves, but they got it to 99%. If they had any more ultimates, I think they'd be holding on to them just to bank it all up, because a little bit more has to come out of VIRTUS.PRO in this play. Saipei's not going to have that ultimate, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for Spark to show up, trying to get these fish in the barrel to line up, but instantly RAD
You are the people? No, I'm not, chat. Stop saying that, dude.
These players, but it seems like thus far it's been a bloodless approach. VIRTUS.PRO have had to give up their positioning to make it happen back.
It's respected, though. That's the main one, and Crazy Kitty's been spotted on the flank. Spark is trying to keep an eye on it, but he's left the rest of his team that are trying
Saipei
to fight
went pro.
YouTube.
Below.
A trap to play with. Nevix now going to be playing.
He's always been pro.
Prize fallen down to their counterpart, so all the flank pressure is going to come through from RAD. But Glartrox moves through, but it's easily slain once again by Smashness, keeping that one to stay him towards the back. Grabs one instantly. Dreedro is so quick with it. This guy's hands are moving at the speed of light. And VIRTUS.PRO are 6% away from claiming the point. Crazy Kitty's already casting.
The glass pad is looking clean for Dreedro as he's showing that he can fight back in these engagements. Portal forced out from Crazy Kitty, and the rest of the rabble for RAD is trying to fight on, but they're dropping one at a time.
That's crazy.
Getting out of this portal is a no-no zone. Gambit's made it so, and the thing has been the reinforcement on the other side. Nevix stands tall and proud.
Damn, they let him take that.
And VIRTUS.PRO are back in the race.
His hands were moving at the speed of light.
And getting it to 99%, but just it shows how important it is to win that first fight in the end. And now that you've got some ultimates sort of banked up in these cases, it was Saipei with a rough, like, Royal Flush to start off, bounces back nicely, and in fact, the backline has eliminated pods, right? Like, Dreedro and Saipei, like, it's kind of ridiculous, actually, considering how, like, end-to-end, back-to-back that kind of stuff was. But you're looking at Crazy Kitty, he's sort of being the better, like, melee assassin playstyle.
Excuse me, my bad.
One final hit and fight, similar damage. Just keeping things in check and up in the game.
Thank you, chat.
Yo, chill on Dreedro, though. 6 final hits, the most on the team.
He needs to fight back a little bit, and I think certainly when you know, like, one of the reasons I think the fight's been struggling.
Cover your nose, gross ass. I covered my nose with my shirt.
Sort of
and who cares if I sneeze on my monitor? Let me do that. It's not on you guys.
Backline. But I don't think you could say that anymore if they get eliminated from this tournament at this stage. RAD is certainly putting them to their poaches.
Well, sneeze in your mouth when you're sleeping, bro. How about that?
From everybody, they want to keep this one going.
6 ults on the table. Both Fate of Both Worlds ready to go if someone presses the emergency button.
Yeah, it's who's going to blink first. It's a game of chicken up on the high ground, certainly with the things just throwing out. It's Saipei that goes first again.
Raging Warrior Flush moves first. Vertigo and Ducky both going to attempt to answer this one as Vi decides that discretion is the better part of Valor in this case. Looking more Smashness has moved over onto the Black Widow to put down that long-range pressure on the longer map. Vinci's found themselves an opening, but Mash has said that the opening actually belongs to us. Call an ambulance, but not for me, as Dreedro just heals everyone up off the back of the Fate of Both Worlds, and VIRTUS.PRO should be able to claim the first cap here, bar the intercession of Lugia, but maybe bit off more than he could chew. Crazy Kitty's the next to move on, but VIRTUS.PRO get the first
Nice. I really do like how Sparker is now on the L. I mean, he was on the L, but like, I like this comp from VIRTUS.PRO. I don't think Vi should ever play Psylocke, bro. I love Psylocke, but I don't think Psylocke's that good this season. The beginning of the season before she got nerfed, yes, but right now, no.
Get that clobbering time early on, but he was immediately eliminated. Smash is now on the Black Widow, seeing if he can find a difference against Sparker now.
Smashnez has the Assassin's Focus, and on these narrow lanes, those piercing bullets can do so much damage. A little collapse to try and work with Lugia can stun them up. The clobbering time's ready to go. 5-found in the air. Lugia knocks them up. Only Nevix is going to be the primary stun, but it's still easy headshots for Nevix to evict Ben Grimm from the defense of this point.
Might be enough to turn it, but it is looking to be 41% this time. So VIRTUS.PRO winning that first engagement on the second round of Steel Husk again. Even if RAD get it to 99%, you know that VIRTUS.PRO can actually still turn this one into their favor to make it a 2-0. It literally just happened. But you at least have some duelist ultimates to work with and a bit of time to actually build up MASH another faster, quick Royal Flush.
Crazy Kitty's playing close here, making sure that there are no flanking angles that Smashnez will be unaware of. Perfect information is the perfect space for a sniper to work with. And here comes the Assassin's Focus, piercing through many.
Bro, he didn't get anyone, though.
Look how aggressive Nevix is getting! He just absolutely incinerates Smashnez, and Lugia goes for the next one to fall down. Crazy Kitty's timing wasn't there. Mash is going to try and make it work with 4. He believes it to be winnable, but could he
That's
be
ballsy,
right?
bro. That's ballsy.
As Nevix lays into them, and while Mash tries to buy you.
That is a ballsy ult, bro.
Opened by Smashnez. They're not in time to save the point, and RAD were late in all aspects.
Bro, does RAD just not want to win right now?
That's not the first time that he's done that this event. Players down thinking, nah, I'd win, grin, and hope for the best.
Mash grin, bro, mash grin.
Well, VP have maybe just given themselves a opportunity to bring this.
These are
to
both
a map
EMEA
with
teams.
So many offensive ultimates.
This isn't even NA.
Just 5% away. Silent Seduction from Ducky's going to get there before Finzy's, but he's pulling in the front line and everybody else dips.
Yeah, Jay3 have already had to use a Fate of Both Worlds. Mash can't afford to go down, but Fi decides to just move on to a more fruitful target, apparently. The Emma Frost demanded attention, but I'm not sure what Fi saw in order to try and turn this one around. The Devil to be let out by Crazy Kitty, moving in towards the back. You've got to be careful of the control, but Finz is going to try and lay down onto them here. The constant knockbacks of a broken brain. But Finzy has crafted where
VIRTUS.PRO can win this. They have a lot of ults.
As Smashnez has the angle. Rad still aren't in control, so it's now or never to turn it back. With Finzy falling back, there's no one to contest, and VIRTUS.PRO are back to the drawing board.
They have 4 ults that they come in here with. Rad almost has 4 as well, though.
To try to turn this one. It's wherever Saipe can get there early again with these Gambit ults. Fate of Both Worlds is set for Vertigo. Rad needs to be patient here. They're on the precipice of doing some real damage to VIRTUS.PRO in the history of Marvel Rivals. But you can't rush this. You can't rush. There has to be a perfect performance. And VP having 4 are going to go straight in.
Here goes the Raging Royal Flush. Vertigo going to answer. They're feeling Radical Road right now. They're going to follow their own rainbow.
Oh!
Maybe off the side, but no, the Glatrox is slain.
Rad
is
taking it. I mean, they probably might have another fight, but VIRTUS.PRO has no ults anymore. They only have 5, and we know how that's probably gonna go, chat. If Fi wins this with his ult, I will never say anything about Fi again.
Flashbacks of before, right? RAD can maybe close the distance and interrupt this, but instead they're going to play around the objective.
Come on, Fi. This is your moment to shine.
With the ultimate in a great position. Where even is he?
This is for your playoff
and can Mash
fate.
Hit them with the Raging Royal Flush already down to half. Mash can't afford to fall on down.
Nice. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let the devil out. Where's my lawyer? Where's my lawyer?
And now only the Paladins of VIRTUS.PRO remain. The bear-like barbarian strength is surely nothing against the circling wolf pack. They have smelt blood in the water. They are following the tracks in the sand down the royal road towards the crown that once sat on VIRTUS.PRO's head.
It's going a long way here now for VIRTUS.PRO. It's poised now to finish out over on basically a pillar. This final engagement.
Ooh, who's ready for a 5-minute fight?
I mean, to begin with, right? It was literally that micro moment of Lugia that has been sort of throwing out the thing now and again. He's like, I don't want to go for this typical Vanguard line. I want to throw in Hulk. I want to be like Swamp Gaming. I want to be able to pull out these kind of characters to show that I'm one of the best rogues when it's not banned, when Angela is playable. Now he's getting to show the thing up against one of the most flexible Vanguards in Nevix and just got there ever so slightly first. And it stunned out Nevix, it stunned out the rest of VIRTUS.PRO, and it made it a good fight. And Mash, yeah, he's using some interesting ultimates, but when you get them that frequently, you find yourself some pretty interesting.
I'll refresh after, chat. It doesn't really matter, bro. Why are you running? Why are you watching 2 different things?
He's 12-0.
Bro's playing for KD.
He's wrapped in bubble wrap, I swear.
It's going to be a duel of two ultimates here. Clobbering Time versus Sonic Seduction. What do you give the edge to?
Well, we've seen Nevix use himself as a projectile.
This is a good Widow map.
I need the fastball special for Nevix anymore on the thing when you could just do it yourself.
Fine, Crazy Kitty. Gonna report back the information. That's an early usage of a team up there from MASH, but Ducky's moving first on their own when it comes to these ultimates. There's just so much damage taken. Where are Bro's heals? We've all fled away, but apparently Nevix didn't get the memo. Fire's gonna be the next to fall. It's such an easy.
Someone take that guy's license away, bro. Someone take that guy's license away.
I mean, it was Ducky that went first with the Sonic Seduction, so Nevix still has the Clobbering Type in hand. You don't want to overthink it, though. Like, sure, it's a big ultimate that could win these team fights with a long stun, but just finding the right target is going to be key. Certainly with Crazy Kitty, he's finding so much. The backline is opening up for him, and Dredra and Saipe have more than they bargained for, but they do have two strategist ultimates to maybe turn this fight in their favor very quickly.
Clobbering Time still on the back foot, but Crazy Kitty gonna have to try and deal with Saipe here. Out comes the Raging Royal Flush. Five's doing the damage towards the back. A spinning kick from the Black Widow is all that's needed to try and rebuff them. Farewell to Smashness, farewell to Vertigo, and au revoir to the heels of Rad. As Crazy Kitty still thinks it's winnable. Could he be right? Mash has managed to do it from beyond.
Was Crazy Kitty just holding on to the middle of the platform, just ulting?
As they manage to throw in even more with the Raging Royal Flush. The portal's going to open up soon.
Yeah, he's managed to get there just in time with the knockback. Oh, there's enough stall there in the end from MASH.
Smashness wondering how do I get out of this portal. The body box there should be strong, but they can't stick around for long. Nevix is just making sure
oh, they're still stalling, and they're committing. They're committing. Big Sparker ult, though.
An express delivery of Rad, but I'm afraid it's an ambulance to be called, not for the not for Rad, but for Elsa instead. Ducky's got the energy to work with. Looking towards the thing, VIRTUS.PRO managed to flip in the midst of all of this after many players were evicted from the point by the Glartrox.
That was a big dedication from Rad. They did so well to stall the point. The Smashness managed to pull up the portal and get himself an extra 30%, pretty much doubling it from where it was at. So VIRTUS.PRO having less room to breathe, having to use a lot. For Saipe having 2/3 of his way to another ultimate means it is going to be like a bit of a space race of how many of these like flushes could come in. How lucky can these gambits get?
How many cycles can you work? Well, Fincy! Oh, the door closed in his face! And now Five, they have to get something off the back here. They are able to let the devil out.
But he's making it a little bit more cautious in the end, making Rad over-dedicate in the end. But Crazy Kitty's found himself too. In the meantime, he's on an absolute tear with 3.
They just win every single initiative roll.
Vi went in after 3 of his teammates were dead, though.
As well.
It might be a different script in this one in the end, but for VIRTUS.PRO, that's a cheap way to end up losing the point. And with Rad doing so well to stall things out, VP are on the back foot.
Going up this hill into the sniper. The assassin's focus ready to go. Smashness has been given the emergency flake to try and sustain through all of this. Saipe drags them forward. The Raging Royal Flush, but Rad's disengage has been pretty good thus far. Fi goes towards the back. He's building up the fury. He wants for Luna. Can he find it? Yes! A devil's
there we go! There we go! That's what I'm talking about, Fi!
VIRTUS.PRO one.
Shut all the haters up!
And it's
Chat.
Getting it to 99%.
That's
right
my
to the end,
Fi!
The portal play was dedicated earlier. It might be
I'm a rank 1 Fi lover. There we go.
A potential
I'm a Fi fan.
5 on the horizon if VP
there we go.
Back into their hands, and the Vanguards are the ones with the ultimates in hands, but they're also the ones that have let Rad into this domination map.
All right, Finn's taken off the high ground a little bit less violently than last time. As Fi continues to work at these margins, moving in towards the back, could move.
There we go. Come on, come on. Hit him from the back.
It's MASH with ultimate. It's not even close for Saipe, so Dredra has to get that Fable built in hand, but he might not have the chance.
There's the Raging Royal Flush. We're looking towards the back. Lugia gets stunned out of his own ultimate.
Oh,
it's clobbering time.
They could do this. They could do this. Chat, they could do this. We're going to a map 5. 5 kills Smashness. We're going to a map 5.
Away from these hallowed halls of death and despair.
It's Nevix this time, not experience. You're not going to let
MASH,
the new kids make
MASH,
the same
what is my support player doing? He had to put the mask on.
The one that has the portal in, and the Venom is
what's my MASH doing? Wait, he switched off of Spider-Man already?
Raw fist, rock and stone, VIRTUS.PRO bad to the bone. Lugia Goat's already down, but how do you exit from the portal? First up, it's got to be the CC immunity of Ducky with the carbon form. Now Crazy Kitty has to follow after. All right, just got through directly.
Oh, huge Sparker ult.
Good, but there are no frags
Huge.
to
You have to
the
shut down
side.
Crazy Kitty, though. You have to shut down Crazy Kitty. He's
goes
about to
for
ult.
something
Uh-oh,
more.
chat.
Ready to
Uh-oh.
unleash the devil. On the other side, the healing's going to be solid. They move towards the back.
Huge freeze.
And Crazy Kitty's just going mad with his devil throw all over. Dreydro's got
No,
down.
no, 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 no.
I will show
What
you
are we
mercy. I
doing?
will show you a victory.
What are we doing?
VIRTUS.PRO as RAD.
Oh my God, bro! How did they lose that? That's my first L.
World champions being sent out from the team.
That's
the
my first
organization.
L prediction.
It's always them. It's always Rad. And even Lugia at the end interrupted with a Spider-Man
My
play.
first
It was
prediction
everything, and
wrong.
that trauma keeps coming up again.
I don't
and
even
again,
wanna
but
watch this
time
shit
it sends
anymore.
the
I'm
Bears
done.
back to EMEA
done.
and not a chance for a